Here we are for another round of working out overtime with yours truly, Rainbow Dragon. We're gonna put the backpack on, got about between 22 pounds and 44, 45 maximum 45. And we're going from my neighborhood to my second home, from my first home here. My neighborhood in NDG, sun is shining, broke through the black dark clouds. It was cloudy, rainy, and you know, as an asp, you got that Asperger's, got my geopolitics obsessions, and I am an independent geopolitical analyst in theory, so for the many years I got a routine. I wake up, do geopolitical analysis, study and revision of my theories and protocols and initiatives. And here from my neighborhood where we got some urban gardening, the sun is shining, and it is of course getting on the bit. On the hot side, it was cool. This morning was 11 to 13, then of course it got all the way to, I think it's 19 now. Beautiful flowers, and overtime every time, special event dedicated to the public workers of the Collective North American Civilization. Go public workers, go. First day of the full moon here from my neighborhood. We're gonna go to the mountain from NDG. Beautiful clouds. Sometimes you just gotta look up. Beautiful clouds, beautiful sun just started piercing the skies, and all the way to the mountain we go. Independent asp, we got at Asperger's. Again, Asperger's is not a mental illness, it is a neurological mental divergent condition, and I am an independent geopolitical analyst and theorist, and geopolitics is my main obsessive interest because people like myself with Asperger's are not mentally ill. NOT! It's not a mental illness, it is a neurological mental divergent condition. I am just neurodivergent. It makes me that I am predisposed to obsessive interests and repetitive movements, and you know, for many years I wake up, do that sun salutation, and as a spiritual teacher, you know, I do my non-sectarian telemite, wannabe telemite here to Lima, and I go to the mountain, and I like to work out, train, exercise. And for many years, still celebrating because it's August. 7 years since I got out of being depressed and suicidal, and before I cross the street, turn my head left and right. Before I cross the street, turn my head left and right. Before I cross the street, gotta turn my head left and right, because you never know, brakes might malfunction. So now that I'm in the public, I got added responsibilities, duties, and obligations, which under the normal circumstances, if I would have stayed home in my dragon's lair, not far from here in NDG, Montreal, HAWK, Hawk Island Special Edition. First day of the full moon yesterday, 3 o'clock was the full moon apex. So for me, it's the 3 moons, 3 days, special full moon celebration. So today the 1st, Wednesday the 2nd, and Thursday is gonna be the 3rd. So still doing some cleaning as I'm celebrating 7 years since I got out of being depressed and suicidal. You know, when I cross Canada coast to coast, I still get moody. My only stress now is financial. My only stress now is financial, economic, but I gotta be grateful, thankful. My rent's paid, electricity bills paid, got food and coffee, and now as we go, gonna do that meditation of all the public works done in the 20th century and before, 19th, 20th century, but mainly 20th century. All the pipes underneath the big cities of North America. Thank you, public workers, whoever you are. And this event is dedicated to those workers there trying to fix the main water main. It takes some brains and some muscles, so I'm gonna be thinking about them, and we gotta have some esprit de corps, you know. It's not all about the money. We gotta have and cultivate an esprit de corps for Quebec, with Quebec, Canada, and North American Collective Civilizational Complex, with the Collective North American Civilizational Complex, is a water main broke in Friday underneath, and it was a big geyser in Montreal, big event. So gotta salute the workers, you know, bureaucracy aside, everything else on the side. I gotta be mindful about that, and that is the workers takes brains and muscle, careful liquor, brains and muscle. And of course I still turn my head left or right, because you never know, like the brakes might malfunction if there's a stop sign. But just for added prudence, I recommend people turn their heads left and right, just like a citizen security. You know, it's something that is on my mind when I go outside, because in the public I got added responsibilities, duties, and obligations which I don't have under the normal circumstances of life. If I would have stayed home, I would have not had the same, right? So I gotta send some LOV to the firefighters, LOV to the bakers, the butchers, the truckers. Everything I'm doing now is meditating, of course, on all the collective North American civilizational complex, on the North American collective civilizational complex, basically on North America, because I'm a Quebecer, Canadian, North American, and Esprit got at Asperger's. Again, is not a mental illness. It is a neurological mental divergent condition. Makes me that I am predisposed to repetitive movements, to repeating words and phrases, and to being obsessed about certain topics. My main obsessions are the Holy Trinity, Adrian Hanna Dragon's Holy Trinity, who survived being depressed and conquered being depressed and suicidal 7 years ago when I crossed Canada coast to coast. Took the train, came back in September from being out west by the bus in Vancouver, BC, that way. Now they're getting, it's 5 o'clock here, minus 3 hours, so their time zone is 2 p.m., close to getting an hour to 3 p.m. on that west coast, and that got me out of being depressed and suicidal, because I said to myself, you know, so many things to do, to see. So I started working out, training, exercise in 2017. August, September, I got out of being depressed and suicidal. By that event in my life, changed my whole life. I started working out, training, and I had many jobs. But you know, with Asperger's, it's still a lot of misunderstandings about my condition known as Asperger's, and I got my strengths, my kingdom, my realm, my domain is geopolitics, to the point that I'm proud to say, as I go on this journey here, all the way to Montreal, Mont-Royal, my second home from my first home, that geopolitics is my kingdom, my realm, and I predicted in a general manner what's happening over now, of course, worldwide, internationally, what's unfolding now across North America, across the world, the geopolitical conflagrations and the international conflagration, and possibly World War III coming. If not, some say has started already. It might start with China invading the Republic of China, which is Taiwan, and the People's Republic of China is mainland China, but that's another issue. But back in 2019, I had predicted in a general manner what's unfolding now. I had predicted it back in 2019 in a general manner, because that's my main obsessive interest, geopolitics, the study of geopolitics. And for many years, and I've written tens of thousands of pages of different initiatives, protocols, of which one of it is the need for financing fitness, for financing citizens to work out, train, exercise, for financing citizens to work out, train, exercise, for financing citizens to work out, train, exercise, and the need to mass finance tourism, to finance tourism. You know, so I always got to be on the go, and fitness, physical activity is my main therapy, you know, and I cannot stress enough the importance of regular physical exercise. I cleaned my room, cleaned a little bit, did a lot of geopolitical analysis before starting on the march, the special march for the public workers, especially those changing the aqueducts, the sewers, the sewers, as I go on this march now, you know. Working out with this laptop, I need me something better, a GoPro, but sometimes you gotta work with what you're given, you know, so I gotta work me with the laptop here, and sometimes you gotta work with the things, the tools you're given, and if something better comes, you improve and you upgrade. And my fitness, I can always improve, and I lost about 80 pounds since 2017, you know, when I started my fitness journey, when I crossed Canada, and I've written tens of thousands of pages of philosophy, art, poetry, rock and roll for the farmers, butchers, bakers, 24/7. And here I gotta turn my head. This is a one-way street here, so I gotta be patient. I'm just gonna cross because I want to be in the side of the sun, you know. The SUN, the sun's my king, the Pope, and I love me some of that yellow. Look at that beautiful yellow car there. I love me some of that beautiful yellow car, so a yellow flower. So here, see, for example, citizen protocol is I gotta stay on the right side, just like driving as much as I can, and also be mindful that I'm carrying a laptop, not to annoy my fellow citizens, you know, with my vlogs, because I can consider this my work, you know, as a YouTuber. And I gotta salute those workers there. See, they picking up the garbage. It's garbage compost and recycling 3 services, which are part of Public Works, as I go now on the Public Works. But today's special is Public Works, specifically those who are repairing the water main. There's a big water main break. Friday it happened in Montreal, Hakal, the big geyser Guys are gushed up and supposedly they're deciding if it's from 1978 or 1985, some 7 years divergence there, something like that. And however old it is like about 40 years old or plus, you know. So whatever the case, it broke, and that's the main reason. And I hear them joyous over there, and it always brings me some joy to hear people's joy. And here I gotta be mindful that there's a child coming on the bike and seems to be practicing, so I'm just gonna clear the way for the child to be able to get it safe, and gonna get out of the way and stay here, wait until it crosses, and safely, children first, you know, the safety of children. And was coming side and on the bike, you know, I said my security, his security, the children first. So I got out of the way and I waited patiently until he past me, so that it's safer, because the child coming and me with the laptop, what if I would have dropped the laptop, what if it would have bumped into me? So all these security questions as a citizen, as we have here in the Quebec, we have something called the Good Samaritan law, which is old school. Sometimes some old school things are okay, you know. It's not all about new school, it's not all about old school. Sometimes you gotta meet in the middle. Is I'm a centrist, and you know, with my Asperger's condition, it has been tough, and I lost employment, lost a lot of business opportunities. But you know, in the past years, I learned to accept it. I have Asperger's, and when I rock and roll hard, because that's my kingdom, my domain. And geopolitics and fitness, geopolitics 24/7, fitness 24/7, rock and roll. Geopolitics, fitness, and rock and roll. Those are my obsessive interests, and now of course I gotta stick on the right side, just like driving, you know. So that's what it is, you know. That's what it is. So you gotta go in the sun, you know. So gotta get it on the sun, and gotta get it on the hoop high, you know. So I have to have an esprit de corps, you know. Esprit de corps. It's not always about myself, although I do not make pretense that I do not want something better, because I want something better now where I live, you know. I don't want to have any debts, and it's better that way. I just remember, because I have retrograde amnesia, and I remember moving from a moldy place, started working out, was depressed and suicidal, 2017, across Canada, coast to coast, and I've written tens of thousands of documents, pages of philosophy thereafter, you know, mainly as a North American philosopher, because I am a North American philosopher, you know. My philosophies are mainly for North American collective, you know. My philosophies are mainly for North American, as much as I can be universal, international, and cosmopolitan. I am a North American Canadian Quebecer, and a North American Canadian Quebecer philosopher, and my experiences are here, and some good, some bad, and balancing the scales and being grateful, thankful. Again, I want to begin and start by saying that grateful, thankful, you know. My rent's paid, electricity bill's paid, and got food and coffee. Grateful, thankful. My rent's paid, electricity bill's paid, got food and coffee. Grateful, thankful. My rent's paid, electricity bill's paid, got food and coffee. So I gotta be thinking about those water mains, you know. Those people fixing the water mains. Gotta be saluting them. Gotta have an esprit de corps, you know. Imagine all the work done here so we can have clean water. Clean water inside the homes, man. All underneath. In the 20th century, we got a lot of infrastructure renewal to do, infrastructure renewal to do, you know. We got a lot of infrastructure to renew, all underneath. We gotta have some esprit de corps, you know. That esprit de corps is that based on a balance between the public and the private. Based on the private and the public, right? For the future of the children, their future. So we must mass invest I believe my DRT theory, my detriment fusion theory, is the only solutions. And you know, with Asperger's, I think there's a tendency, at least for myself, that not to argue much, but to propose solutions. And a lot of people think that people with Asperger's, like myself and Aspie, that we lack empathy or compassion. It's not that. It's that we show it by more action. If we can do some things, just ask. And it's jokes, but it's true. But I mean, if you sometimes you feel the need to scream at me for 5 minutes, and that would alleviate your whatever, fulfill any psychological impulses without harming anybody in a violent physical manner. I mean, that we can be negotiating something, and that can always be something that can be arranged. You know, it's always business, it's always now. And I gotta be grateful, thankful, always thinking about the butchers now, the daycare workers, how many diapers they changed across coast to coast, and those the truckers now, and those repairing the water mains. You know, gotta meditate, to be grateful. That's why we got water to drink. You know, we got water to drink inside the homes, portable water, and flushing toilets because of the work of the 20th century. And my brothers and sisters, civilization is a privilege. Civilization is a privilege. Civilization is a privilege. And I gotta go turn my head left to right, you know. So I gotta be thinking about them, all the work that they're doing, all the work that they're doing now, underneath, to fix it, right? Just to fix that. It's a lot of work that they're involved in, trying to fix the aqueducts underneath, with the pipes, with the metal, with the knowledge, the brains and the muscle. So now this first full moon day, I'm gonna be meditating. I'm gonna be meditating on all the work that's being done underneath now. See, all the work. So imagine in the 20th century, all the pipes. So there's kilometers, miles of pipes all around Montreal, all around North American cities. Wherever you see a igloo, that means that it's there. Imagine. I guess it requires some imagination. So imagination, you know. So much imagination, you know. That's a way to kill boredom. You know, to kill boredom. That's enough to kill boredom. Think about that while you're walking on the streets. Think about the workers of the 20th century. All those hammers, all those steels. All those hammers, all those steels. We gotta cultivate an esprit de corps, because we got coast to coast now. We got each other, you know. And you're my family. And I cross Canada coast to coast, and we gotta cultivate, because it's not all about the money. We gotta cultivate an esprit de corps, and it's not all about force, and it's not all about strength. As I go on these poetic rock and roll, for those changing the aqueducts, with us steel in the metal, with us steel in the quacks. Gotta work up in the box. Gotta work up in the docks. Gotta work up in the seas. Gotta work up in the bees. Well, we gotta go up in the bees. Where there's bees, there's honey. Where there's bees, there's honey. Where there's bees, where there's bees, there's honey. So underneath now, there's layers and layers of pipes. And I have some knowledge, but again, my main domain, kingdoms and empires are geopolitics. I know everything there is to know about geopolitics, you know. So that is my kingdom, my domain. Geopolitics. Study geopolitics and rock and roll 24/7. For the butchers, for the bakers, for the nurses, for the doctors, for the grocery store clerks, and all those involved in the production, distribution of food, you know. We gotta cultivate a love, you know, because it's not all about strength. It's not about force. It's not all about strength. It's not all about force. It's not all about strength. We have to have a multiplicity of forces to counterbalance that. So me as a citizen, philosopher, artist, athlete, gotta cultivate an esprit de corps with those there on the field, fixing that aqueduct which broke, and which damaged, of course, which damaged, of course, the water main. And I'm advocating for a number throughout the cities of North America, part of the Dragonomy Public-Private Partnership Initiative, because everything that I'm calling for, of course, is a public-private partnership, a PPP, across the collective North American Civilizational Complex, a PPP, public-private partnership, a PPP, a public-private partnership across the collective North American complex, and part of the ongoing my dream, the call to all willingly loving for a fundamentally a public-private partnership. Turn my head left or right here before I cross the street, and gotta be watching for the left and for the right, because you never know, brakes can malfunction, and what if somebody presses the accelerator instead of the brake? So as added prudence, security, it is always something we gotta be mindful of when we are in the public, when we are in the public, now we gotta be mindful that we gotta make these compromises, such as we made greater compromises, such as a philosopher here in North America. We made what I call the great North American linguistic compromise for the French language, right? The great linguistic compromise for the French language, and we continue to do it. And we continue to do it on a daily basis. Gotta salute the garbage collectors, picking up the garbage, the trash, the compost. You know, as I go, I'm always meditating. What's happening now? Across the collective North American civilization, across the great collective North American civilization, across the North American civilizational complex. You know, it's something that we gotta be mindful of, because we got a lot of work to do. We got a North American Infrastructure Renewal Act. That's what I'm calling for. You know? So that's what I gotta do. As I go all the way to the mountain now, gonna drill it all the way to the top, and gonna be meditating on what's happening now, what work has been done, what work's gonna be done more. So, I gotta go around the children, you know. As I got priority now, it's my turn, and gotta go it on the now, and I go all the way to the top, man. Turn my head though, although I got 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, just in time. That was a just in time, you know. So that's what I was gonna be doing with that, and meditating, saluting first, you know. Financially stressed but grateful, thankful. My rent's paid, electricity bills paid, got food and coffee. And please, tourists, if you come here, try all our local beverages, all our local cheeses and food and sweets, and gotta watch it for the car here, because this is one way. So in theory they can only go this way, right? The cars cannot come from there, but you never know. Even if it's one way, you gotta be watching it. And I do love this composition of red and yellow and purple and several white as well. So nice garden, I gotta say. I love bright colors, so whenever I see bright gardens here when I go to the mountain, I can take many different routes to go to the mountain, but now I decided to flush it in straight east. I come from the west, and when I go back west, and I always like to see nice gardens and admire gardens and meditate about the plantation of the flowers and fruits and trees and everything that's happening across the civilizational complex, and as much as I can with nature as well, because we got to get that harmony between nature and civilization, and it's not always easy, you know. I only take public transit, and you come here tourist, and We are proud, I am proud of Hydro-Quebec, and I will, WILL, to build more dams, more dams, more dams, more dams, and more dams to build, you know, so building more dams is important, it's important, you know, so we gotta get that coast to coast, you know. I'm building more dams, and here, if you come here, know that we have clean, zero emission, zero pollution energy, which comes from those dams on the lakes and rivers of this liable province, Quebec, and that's what we gotta be doing a little bit of that. Turning my head left or right, and I just saw a young couple holding hands and kissing, and that gives me some HOP, you know, because it's not all about fighting, so it's not all about fighting, hey? Sometimes it's about loving, and sometimes it's about loving, you know, so anyways, as we go all the way to the east on the mountain, and admiring all the work that's going now, the plumbing and everything that's going there, you know, all the way that's all the trucks and the truckers and the youth back to school. We're preparing. I don't know, it's the 20th of August, so I don't know. Snow back to school already. Maybe immersion. See, this is one way, so I always turn my head left and right anyways, because even if it's one way, you know, cars can actually come and pass, and there's the car. Gotta be looking out for my fellow citizens. Like a hawk, H-A-W-K. Make sure they cross safely, you know, especially the youth and children. Like a hawk. Watching my children like a hawk, H-A-W-K. So anyways, driving it all the way to the east, it seems like the storm is coming, but I don't know if it's gonna be some rain or some thunder, but it kind of looks like it's clouds are gonna come, black clouds. I don't know. How about I'll buy this house for yours truly? 514-660-3050, 514-660-3050, 514-660-3050, and I can split half, 50-50 with my anonymous friend. Who want my friend because of the money? Because I never had any. Who want my friend because of the money? Because I never had any. Who want my friend because of the money? Because I never had any. Here it is, 514-660-3050, and red, my favorite color, the doors, and red, and could do 50-50, let's go. Oprah, let's go. Celine Dion, let's go. Swifty, I'm a Swifty, but I do write songs, French and English, you know, play bilingual. You're gonna switch to that bilingual later on, but now I'm just gonna meditate, of course, on the truckers, the butchers, and specifically, first and foremost, not only the train conductors, we gotta add the train conductors, all those who build the trains, all those who build the infrastructure. We got a lot of infrastructure to build, and I gotta cross by here by the side. Gotta get on the cross. Gotta turn my head left or right. What if the brakes malfunction? So I always gotta take that into consideration, that a car might come faster and then get the turn not properly, and then turn in a way, of course, which is way more abrupt, you know, in a more abrupt turns, and more abrupt turns like that, and gotta get it on that X, and gotta be mindful of that. So I always gotta be double prudent, I guess, when I cross the street, because you never know, especially in certain areas where you have like curbs and the circumvention is abrupt and speed limit is 70, 77, 70, and gotta get it on that XYZ. I don't know if it's back to school or what, but February 20th and still summer, and I guess already back to school or preparation. This one's for sale as well. 514-379-1333 for sale, I guess. I don't know what it is, but it's gotta get it. Maybe something like that, you know, so that's what it is, you know, so I gotta say those yellow flowers there, and some nice ones, man. Anyways, I gotta mention and I gotta be saluting those who are gonna repair the water main. 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 And I just got a flash from my son, my Publiking the son, and kind of a bit. Kind of a bit. Somebody smile in the car. Kind of a bit like too abrupt, to just nullify my egos. The son kind of said in a more mystic way, I said, hey, anyways. Gotta give that priority and give priority to the car because they're kind of impatient, and it's metal on wheels at the end of the day, so it's metal on wheels, metal on wheels, metal on wheels, metal on wheels. Anyways, somebody's cheerleading for something, but another one to sale here. So 514-379-1333. 514-379-1333. I can live below, my friend can live above, and that's what we gotta do, man. Anyways, for those who are repairing the water main, and all the public workers who are repairing the aqueducts and those who build the aqueducts specifically, I gotta be thinking about them. And as I go now, of course, all the way to the west, I gotta say those are lovely flowers there. Very bright white. I love the combination of the flowers with the yellow. I like that combination like that. It kind of looks nice. How it's trimmed on the side, kind of circular manner. I kind of like gardening like this. That's kind of like a curve, and kind of bushy there. It's kind of nice. Anyways, as I go all the way to the mountain, gotta get it on the XYZ, and that's all we gotta get doing with that. Gotta be meditating and always. But this is a hybrid bus. Hybrid buses, now we have fully electric buses. Gotta go on the side and turn on those roads, and gotta be meditating on everything now, and the water main, and these are nice. These are like that. Think it's like that. I don't know. I like that combination with pink, It's kind of pinkish and pink and whitish. It has a nice feel, nice feel. And all corners are the same flowers. So if you notice here, when you pass, they put out the same flower spots, and they're all pink and white, as you see there at the corner. See? I don't know. I like it. I like the pink. It's really the same as the all other corners, but I enjoy it. It's nice. The little flowers there, and aesthetics. It goes down like that. Thank you, public workers. It's quite nice. I would have put something red or orange, but I guess pink I'll take, and that one there. That one there. Anyways, this is what it is here, and gotta turn our head left and right, left and right, left and right, left and right. Anyways, we're gonna go get that hydration inside, and seems like the sun's piercing again, but need to go down and get all the way for that hide, HYDRATE. And I gotta be grateful, thankful, you know. Imagine all the work just to get that hydrate. Play some gridiron, throw some footballs. Good for you, good for you. Keep it up, keep it up. Tell me some 49ers, give some tickets to the farmers. Triple the cheerleader salaries, NFL triple. The cheerleader salaries triple. Cheerleader salaries, NFL, and throw some footballs, and gotta throw a little bit of footballs, and I love gridiron, so here's the field, and they're getting ready to throw some because they got a football ball, so it's always exciting to see people work out, train, exercise. It is my medicine and therapy of choice, and sports, fitness, geopolitics. Dancing is my favorite sport. Dancing is my favorite sport. Dancing is my favorite sport. Rainbow Dragon, philosopher, artist, athlete. Marching all the way to the mountain and switching to that French in a bit because we La Belle Province, and gonna be in La Belle Province here in Montreal, 2.5 million metropolis city. You have a tennis court here. Tennis court is nice, but I think you gotta have some sort of fees which gotta be covered. I don't know the whole thing. I'm not big on tennis, and dancing, I dance. Dancing is my favorite sport, and geopolitics, dancing, and rock and roll, my holy trinity, fourth dimension, and spirituality. I'm a mystic. I believe in reincarnations. I believe in reincarnations. And here I'm gonna go hydrate, thinking about all the work which was done underneath the city for us to have clean water for the showers, for the cooking, for the drinking. Is something which sometimes we take for granted until problems happen, right? And having survived COVID for me was like death, pestilence, and disease. When I had COVID, it was like death, pestilence, and disease. COVID for me was like death, pestilence, and disease, and I survived COVID, you know. So, having survived COVID since February 2020, February, March 2020, February, March was very sick and ill, and February, March, and since then, of course, I survived it, and I lost some more weight, and I start working out, training, exercising, and presenting some meditations, and gotta get a little bit of hydration right here. Oh yeah, that was a good hydration. So you can take a look at the city there. Part of Hawk Island City, Hawk, H-A-W-K, Hawk, H-A-W-K, Hawk Island, Hawk Island, Hawk Island, Hawk Island. That's H-A-W-K, that's H-A-W-K. H-A, Hawk Island, you can see the river, see the river. Surrounded by a big river, you know, so that's what it is with that. So it's always good, and it's always good for that. Gotta salute LOV the youth. Gotta salute LOV the youth. LOV salute the youth. I always get joy when I see the youth happy, joyous, and it's for them. And from the daycares to the we put on a uniform. I gotta say to my Bill brother, Bill Blair, Minister of National Defense, implement my workout training program system which I've created, and it's coast to coast. And Dragon Army Initiatives is a philosopher, geopolitical analyst, and theorist, and it's always defense and only defense and only. We're gonna play that D, and now I'm gonna discuss the DRT, depth fusion theory, as the sun is shining somewhere. The sun is always shining, always setting, always. Every second there's a sunrise and a sunset, and these are part of public works here. So I gotta salute the public workers who change the aqueducts, go water main, go water main, go water main, reparations go. We gotta get that LOV, and gotta get a LOV for them. And I always bought the workers, the butchers, the bakers, the nurses, the doctors, grocery store clerks, truckers. I'm a centrist. Universal revolutionary centrist, because my centrism is tied hand in hand with my trinity of theories to be implemented via that LOV. It's not all about fighting. It's sometimes gotta get that loving, It's not all about fighting. Sometimes gotta get that loving. So now I gotta meditate on those changing the aqueducts over there, All the work that they're doing, it's something which you gotta have an esprit de corps. If we don't have esprit de corps, we gotta cultivate it, to realize that this tough geopolitical situation, we gotta come together coast to coast, ocean to ocean, for defense only, for defense, security, and service, and rebuilding the infrastructure of the collective North American civilization, of the collective North American civilization, of the collective North American civilization, of the North American civilizational collective. So we gotta be mindful of that, and we gotta be thinking about that, and we gotta be thinking about everything that's unfolding now across the collective. And see those beautiful gardens there, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful gardens, and that's private. But we also that beautiful in the public. So my dream is a beautiful symmetry between the public and the private, between the public and the private, between the public and the private, between the public and the private. Anyways, so the DRT theory, the debt refusion theory, is the only solution to be implemented. The DRT theory, the debt refusion theory, the debt refusion theory. So what is the debt refusion theory? The DRT, debt refusion theory, stands for D, for debt, R, refusion theory. And why do I say that is the only solution? And I do believe firmly, as I go on this marching meditative rock and roll march, as I do. There's a kind of a chilly wind here. This wind, like we have now, the breeze, it feels like autumn. It's just cool, kind of, all of a sudden, kind of very cool. Anyways, I turn my head here left and right, because sometimes the cars come fast and the brakes can malfunction, so I always gotta be prudent when I cross the streets here. In any streets, but specifically some corners more than others, which I know to be more dangerous and have more possibilities for accidents. In other words, in terms of the driver pedestrian interaction, sometimes it's got to be simplified. But now, my brothers and sisters, we pay 46.5 billion. We pay 46.5 billion interest. 46.5 billion in interest. 46.5 billion interest. That's the amount of interest we pay. It went from 2020, we paid 2021 year budget, we paid 20.3. So double 20.3 times 2, that's 40.6. That's 40.6. So now we pay 46.5 billion. 46.5 billion. So it more than doubled. The amount of debt servicing. The debt servicing, in other words, is the amount of interest we pay. So just the interest on the debt, public debt, I'm speaking about public debt here, just the interest on the public debt has more than doubled. More than doubled, more than doubled. It's now 46.5 billion. A billion is 1,000 million. So that's 46.5 thousand million. Just interest on the public debt. This is way the catastrophe. With all that money, we could rebuild all the infrastructure. So that's the DRT. Part of the king is absent. Siri, the king is absent. We got to get that confederation to federation. The Democratic Republic of Canada and of North Americans Unite is the call. Canada, US, Western, North American Collective. Turn my head left and right. I cross the street. Turn my head left and right when I cross the street, and going all the way, you know. Going all the way. Going all the way, going all the way. So the DRT stands for debt refusion theory. It looks like a storm is coming. I know it just got dark, really dark, all of a sudden. Anyways, I'm not sure. Maybe. Yeah. Anyways, we're gonna take all the debt. So my DRT theory stands for D. Debt refusion theory. Debt refusion theory, debt refusion theory, debt refusion theory. Also contains monetary integration theory. Monetary integration theory also contains monetary integration theory. So D stands for debt, R stands for refusion, T stands for theory. DRT, debt refusion theory. The D, debt, R, refusion theory. So the debt refusion theory also includes monetary integration theory. So monetary integration theory is exactly what was done in the European Union, in the European Union, in the European Union, in the European Union, in the European Union. So the Europeans, the Germans got rid of the Deutschmark, the Italians got rid of the lira, the French got rid of the franc. So they got rid of more than those three countries, but I'm naming those three countries because they're very pillar for the EU. Germany is pillar, and you know, Germany is a pillar of the EU. So I named the three most kind of fundamentally important ones in terms of geopolitics. But the Europeans, many countries, not all, more than 25, right? Some have retained their old currency, but most have got rid of their old currencies. The Germans got rid of the Deutschmark, the Italians got rid of the lira, the French got rid of the franc. So they adopted and created a common currency known as the euro, and they created the ECB, known as the European Central Bank. As I go discuss the DRT and meditate, because this is public works happening here, all the aqueducts. Oh, we got so much work, part of the public works, which we gotta fundamentally do. So here, aqueducts. And there's expertise and knowledge, but it takes brains and muscle. It takes brains and muscle. Brains and muscle. So many things I don't know. I know my geopolitics. I know my dancing. I know my rock and roll. But I also present to you out of my Asperger's obsessions and the curse of Asperger's, which made me lose many friends over the past 7 years, and only friends with benefits now, pledge your allegiance, legions, only friends with benefits now, only friends with benefits now, pledge your allegiance, legions, only friends with benefits now, pledge your allegiance, legions, you know. So that's what we gotta get doing with that. So beautiful flowers here, beautiful flowers. So that's what it is now, that's what it is now, that's what it is now. So we gotta get that DRT, and my DRT includes that theory which was applied in the European Union, in the European Union. So we're gonna implement the DRT. My debt refusion theory is the only solution I present to the table, for me, for you, for us, because it's not just for me, but it's for all of us. The theory has to be implemented. We are now paying 46.5 billion in interest, just in interest this year. Imagine, more than doubled. We gotta implement the DRT. You can be on the left, you can be on the right, you can be in the center. Argue all you want. I don't like to argue much. I like to find solutions. for the individual, for the collective, solutions for the individual, for the collective, solutions for the individual, and for the collective. I don't like to argue much, so that's what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be implementing the DRT. I just gotta watch out for my fellow citizen, that he sees me, for his security in mind, that we don't bump into each other now. So I gotta be doing on that, and gotta be going on the up, and gotta be going on the upside, you know. So anyways, we're gonna be going up. We're gonna go all the way to the mountain, and for his security mind, I gotta turn my head left and right here as I go up and down, and make sure, of course, that I cross the street with prudent and safely, prudent and in a safe manner, in a prudent and safe manner. As the sun's gonna shine again, you know. So gotta get that DRT. So the DRT is, of course, the debt refusion theory. We're gonna have to implement. So here it is. And again, it includes monetary integration theory, which was exactly what was done in the European Union. The sun is going to shine again, my Public King, the sun. So we're going to take all the public and the private debt. My debt as a private citizen is 10,500. So my 10,500, your 10,500, coast to coast, ocean to ocean. So all the public and the private debt. So all the public and the private debt, coast to coast. So my 10,500, yours, ours, of Canada. I'm speaking from a North American perspective, because fundamentally my call is for a public-private partnership, for the collective North American civilizational complex, 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 for the North American collective, for the North American civilizational, the complex of North America, in other words, the North American civilizational complex, of which myself am part of course, as a Quebecer, Canadian, North American, who's gonna cross the street here, Mount Rose and Ramsey, prudently, and turn my head and meditate and call anybody who wants to buy a house for my friend and me, because my friend deserves. And I'm grateful where I live now. I always say that if I would have not moved from where I used to live, I would have probably been dead or in jail. If I would have not moved where I used to live, I would have probably been dead or in jail. I say always that if I would have stayed where I used to be staying, I would have probably been dead or in jail. And I moved to a better place. I left a moldy place, and that's what I kind of remember. And that's why I'm here now. And these past 7 years, I've been coming out of being depressed, suicidal, survived COVID, and accepted my Asperger's, neurodivergence, and going to the mountain now. We're going to be a little bit of that rain, discussing the DRT. So the DRT, debt refusion theory, contains monetary integration theory. We're gonna of course take all the public and the private debt, So my private debt as a citizen is 10,500. So my debt, your debt, our debt. So all the debt, public and the private. So all the debt, Canada, coast to coast, because the United States dollar still is the currency of choice for world trade, international business, and global finance, right? The United States still is, the dollar of the USA still is the number one top currency worldwide for international business, international finance, global trade, and world business, right? So the United States dollar still is the number one currency in the world. Has been challenged lately, especially now with the new military, economic, political, geopolitical alliances that are been changing the world order in the past 2.5 years, but nonetheless still is at the moment. So we're gonna take all the debt, public and the private. My private debt is 10,500. Your debt, our debt, coast to coast. My 10,500, yours, ours, coast to coast. Of course, that's what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna convert all the debt, the public and the private debt, all the public and the private debt, to US dollars. All that money, we're gonna add it with the US. Canada, US first. Canada first. US, if they will, is for North American complex. which includes Mexico, which includes, of course, Haiti, which includes, of course, the Dominican Republic. So it includes those countries. It includes those countries. It also includes Cuba. The paradox of Cuba being socialist, I'm not going to discuss, but Cuba is part of the collective North American civilizational complex. Oh, 5 hawks. 1 hawk. Omen trolls the sun is piercing the clouds. That's my totem bird. H-A-W-K, that's my totem bird. 1, 2, 3. Hawk, we got hawks here in Montreal, Hawk Island. How many? I saw 5. 5. All going towards the sun. Anyways, that's my totem bird. Nothing wrong with dogs, because I love dogs mostly from afar. But my main totem bird is the hawk. Hawk. So gotta get it on that hawk. And of course we gotta get it on the H-A-W-K, and hawks and snakes with it, and lions, and gotta love me some snakes and creeping creatures, you know. But anyways, we're gonna take all the debt, the public and the private debt, all the public and the private debt. We're gonna take all the public and the private debt. So my 10,500, yours, we're gonna of course refuse it. So all the debt is gonna be in the trillions. Canada, US, Mexico if they will, Haiti if they will, convert all the gourd, public private bond, ship the gourd, Dominican Republic, Mexican peso, convert all that to US dollar, all the public and the private debt of the countries of North America, Canada, US first, then whoever WILL, whoever wills. All that money in US dollars will be the initial money supply for a new central bank. All that money in US dollars will be the initial money supply for a new central bank. So all that money in US dollars will be the initial money supply. It's going to be in the trillions for a new central bank, just like the Europeans did, the ECB. Then we're going to create a common currency. The common currency is going to be called the UE, based on the US dollar's value, because that's where we do the conversion to US dollars. So the UE stands for U dot, universal, E dot exchange unit. U dot, E dot, universal exchange unit. So that's why we're going to do the conversion for the universal exchange unit. We're going to universal exchange unit. So we're going to do the conversion. The UE, the U dot, E dot, U dot, the universal exchange unit. U dot, UE, universal, E dot, exchange, UE, universal exchange unit. So all that money is going to be the universal exchange unit, all that money. The debt. I got 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. See, as I rush to get there just in time. I'm not going to rush for the other one, because from here 7 seconds and it's gonna be safety, security. So anyways, so all the debt, public and private, but I will cross on the other side just because. So all the debt, public and private, we're gonna convert it to US dollars. So all that money, the public and the private debt, all the debt is gonna be in the trillions. That will be the initial money supply for this new bank. So it's gonna be in the trillions. There we go, my turn to cross. All the money, public private debt, will be the money for a new central bank. For a new central bank. All the money. I gotta give a shout out to the public workers for embellishments with my DRT. We're gonna be able to embellish more cities, rebuild infrastructure. So once again, I explain it. So we're gonna take all the public and the private debt. I'm gonna need to clean my hands because I don't know how people's personal hygiene, so I'm gonna have to disinfect, you know. I'm a little bit germs, microbes, bacteria, and now with mpox, you know, it's safe to be more hygienic. We might have to have another lockdown, but anyways, I'm always important public hygiene, you know. Public hygiene. So we got 11 seconds, and we gotta put the DRT into perspective, and we gotta implement the DRT. So we're gonna take all the public and the private debt, and we're gonna do the refusion. So we're gonna all the public and the private debt will be the initial money supply for a new central bank. So that's going to be in the trillions. And with all the money, public private debt converted to US dollar, Canada, US, Mexico, all that money will be the initial, all that money will be the initial money supply. Somebody lives up there. It's kind of... Anyways, I like that building structure like that. It's kind of nice. So we're gonna take all the public and the private debt, all the public and the private debt, and that money is gonna be the initial money supply for this new central bank. Anybody wants to wheels with LOV to finance me that I go up and down these stairs and 300 times with rock and roll for the farmers, butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors. I wish I could paint these stairs. Bring me the permission, the tools, and the paint, and it will be my pleasure to paint all the stairs blue. I would paint them blue and white and red, you know, or red. Red my favorite, but it could be red and white and blue. I don't know, it's just something gray about them, you know. I would just love to put some color, something bright, you know, some red or blue. I don't know, I'll do it volunteering. Just bring me the paint, you know, the paint, the brush, and the permission, and I'll lovingly do it volunteering. I'd paint some color all these stairs because they're just so gray. I don't know, something blue would be nice, just more refreshing, you know. You go up the stairs, it's blue, it's kind of nice. Blue and white and red, why not? Like, so rainbow, you know, but it can be whatever the case may be. So anyways, here we are. We made it to the mountain, and my fellow citizens there, and the jog, and gonna discuss the DRT again. So we're gonna get that DRT. See the beautiful nature here. Don't touch, but you see all that. It's full of moldy mushrooms, and here we made it to my second home. Be patient for that French. And I love coming here, I love meditating here, working out. This is like my second home, and after I go 3 days without it, this last time I was here was Saturday, so Sunday and Monday. So if I wouldn't have not come today, it would have been like Wednesday, you know, so that's what we're gonna be doing. And I think it's gonna be a little bit of storm and maybe something coming. I always love when I see that. Yeah. Give me some hope, man. See people holding hands and doing a little bit of kissing, a little bit of hugging, and you're allowed, you know. That gives me HOP. That's what brings me joy, you know, to see people holding hands and kissing. And Asperger's makes me that I stare too much, a bit too stare. So I'm working on the symptoms because there's no medications for Asperger's. I just gotta understand and know my distinction, my difference. Not to stare too much at objects, at people, not to get too close in conversation. And socially I'm a weirdo, you know. But nonetheless, LOV to CLOV, let's say. I play that Rainbow 24/7, the DRT, the debt refusion theory. We're gonna take all the public and the private debt. All the public and the private debt. So my debt, your debt, all the debt, I'm gonna convert it to US dollars. All that will be the initial money supply to create a universal, a new currency, just like they did in the European Union, called, of course, the UE, the Universal Exchange Unit, the U dot universal E dot exchange unit, the UE, based on the US dollar. The value, we're gonna set an interest rate level of 10%, freeze all the prices, price the butter, price the legume, price the fruits. We're gonna standardize, and with all that money, we're gonna be able to rebuild the infrastructure like the water mains, rebuild the infrastructure, finance Seasons to work out, train, exercise. And here from the main road, we're gonna go inside the forest on the mountain. So it's nice yellow flowers here. They don't smell much, but you can see them around all over the place. I've got a lot of flora, fauna, and of course that's the main road. That's the main road, and there's many places you can join me here in the side, but that's where most people stay. But I go deep into the forest, so because I know the mountain. This is my second home, so I know the mountain, like I know my dragon's lair, and this is my second home here, the mountain. And please do not pollute, do not pollute, do not pollute, do not pollute. Put it in the trash, put it in the garbage, put it in the garbage, put it in the trash, 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 put it in the garbage, put it in the trash, put it in the trash, put it in the trash. Anyways, fait que la DRT debt refusion TV, the DRT debt refusion TV, we're gonna take, of course, all the debt, all the public and the private debt, so we're gonna refuse it, and of course all that money is gonna be, of course, money for the creation of a new central bank. We're gonna create a central bank like the European Union did, and we're gonna issue a new currency called the UE, the Universal Exchange Unit. The Universal Exchange Unit, the UE. The Universal Exchange Unit, U dot, E dot, U dot. The Universal Exchange Unit, the UE. The Universal Exchange Unit, the UE. The Universal Exchange Unit, the UE. U dot, Universal, E dot, Exchange Unit, the Universal Exchange Unit, the Universal Exchange Unit, the Universal Exchange Unit. So we're gonna create and do, of course, all that. So we're gonna take all the public and the private debt, my 10,500, yours, ours, all the debt, public and private, and with all that money, we're gonna create the Universal Exchange Unit based on biometrics. The hand, the voice are unique biometric identifiers. Set an interest rate level of 10%. It could be 3.33, 7.18, 7.70, 9.3, 6.1, 1.56. I credit the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom first and foremost with trillions of kisses. With trillions of kisses, I credit the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom with trillions of kisses. Kisses I got by the trillions. Kisses I got by the trillions. Kisses I got by the trillions, so kisses I got, rock and roll, geopolitics I got, androgynous, pansexual, rainbow dragon, philosopher, mystic, geopolitical analyst and theorist, and North American Canadian who was born a few times between 1535 and 1904, a few times here in Montreal on the island, Hawk Island, aka Montreal, Hawk, H-A-W-K, totem bird, Hawk Island, Montreal, and 3 times in the USA post 77.6. Yes, I was born once as a woman, twice as a man. When I was born as a man, I served in the United States Army in those incarnations, previous past lives, I believe. Read George Patton's Through a Glass Darkly, calling them on my brothers and sisters for the USA. As I read, of course, Through a Glass Darkly, when George Patton believed in reincarnation, of course, I was born there in the USA post 76, 3 times, twice as a man, once as a woman, because believing in reincarnations, of course, makes me that I am predisposed, of course, to those more mystic beliefs, and just like George Patton was, believed in reincarnation, so was I, but sometimes I was born a man. Sometimes I was born a woman, sometimes I was born a man, sometimes I was born a woman, so you get that 50-50 now. The most important is my trinity of theories, the DRT, debt refusion theory, CIT, citizen integration theory, and the democratic fusion theory, the democratic fusion theory, the democratic fusion theory via the 4th dimension, LOV via the 4th dimension, LOV. So of course, the DRT, take all public and private debt. We're gonna refuse it to create the universal exchange unit, the universal exchange unit, the universal exchange unit, the universal exchange unit for the creation of the UE. Canada, United States, Mexico, if they will, all the public and the private debt converted to US dollar will be the initial money supply for this new North American integrated central bank. It could be expanded with NATO member countries, NATO member countries, transatlantic BIS, Bank of International Settlements. That's why I'm calling on my astrological brother Scorpio Bill Gates of Blackhawk, Blackstone, and BlackRock. Another Scorpio Larry Fink. Another Scorpio Joe Biden. It could be Sagittarius, or all the 12 signs. But I'm just saying as a fact that there are Scorpios in astrology, the aforementioned, basically to say that it takes a public-private partnership to implement my DRT theory, which is the only solution. And with all that money, that's going to be the initial money supply. We're going to create the two complementary covenant and cooperative institutions, the Dragon Army public-private partnership for the 21st century, security, service, and defense only. 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 Security, service, coast to coast, ocean to ocean defense. We're going to play that defense like the hardball ball. Like the hardball ball, and well, my 49ers lost. My Niners lost to the Ravens. We're gonna play that defense, play that D, coast to coast, rebuild our infrastructure, rebuild our infrastructure, rebuild our infrastructure, rebuild the infrastructure collective, finance citizens to work out, train, exercise, rebuild our infrastructure, 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 finance the collective, rebuild our infrastructure, rebuild our infrastructure, all throughout the collective North American complex, finance citizens to work out, train, exercise, and implement the DRT biometrics, hand, voice, our unique biometric identifiers. Let's go, Bill Gates. Let's build more supercomputers across North America for the UE, Universal Exchange Unit. And it could be monetary, it could be, of course, as we have now, digital and paper as we have now, based on the value on the US dollar. We're going to freeze standardized prices of grain, fruits, vegetables, build more social housing, encourage citizens to work out, finances to work out, and finance intercontinental North American travel, and build coast to coast, implement the Hawk defense strategy for the skies, and the Operation Northern Scorpio to secure food, housing, transport, and encourage, incentivize people to work out, train, exercise, and public hygiene, and build interceptor to defend potential of intercepting ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles, which do more than 44 years, almost 45 years of the Cold War between 1947 and 1991, March 1947, December 1991. So between 1947 and 1991 is like almost 45 years, almost 45 to be precise. 44 years and 9 months, 44 years and 9 months, 44 years and 9 months of the Cold War, 44 years and 9 months. Many ICBMs, so we're going to have to build and open up some more mountains like that Cheyenne across Quebec, Canada, coast to coast, and implement build centers, of course, where the our NATO allies can come train and implement, of course, defensive, strategize, collective North American complex to get that GDP spending to 2%. We're going to be able to build 11 different complexes and areas of training only, so that NATO troops can come to train, NATO troops can come to train, NATO troops can come to train, and of course we're gonna get it on the drill, and with all that money we're gonna be able to, of course, to do that together, and that's what we're gonna be able to do. And fellow citizens there having a little jog, and I'm always eager to translate that because it's only in French and I put it up for my French language, but maybe they knew, maybe they didn't, I don't like to assume much, but I always love to see tourists, and if tourists come here, Montreal, Quebec, please, when you come here, only consume local products, local cheese, local bread, local fruits, local food, local cuisine, local pastry, fleur de lis on every product. When you come here, consume all the fleur de lis products, all the fleur de lis products, all the fleur de lis products, fleur de lis, you gotta get that fleur de lis products, and fleur de lis products, so always be mindful of that. And we got great cheese, great drinks, beverages, we got great sweets, great pastries, and we got great, of course, great food. We got great sausages, great bacon, great a lot of food, and Try everything, buy local. If you go in a superstore, buy local. Local beverages, local drinks, whether alcoholic or non-alcoholic. You gotta be 19 plus for that alcohol, but nonetheless, just buy local. And if you come here in my second home, please do not pollute, do not pollute, do not pollute, and don't leave garbage, trash here in the forest. So we gotta get implemented that DRT, debt refusion theory. We're gonna take all the public and the private debt of Canada, North America, could be extended, North American complex and beyond, North American complex, NATO, and all that money is going to be laying the foundations, the initial foundations, of course, for a new central bank, and we're going to issue the UE, the Universal Exchange, based on biometrics, and based on biometrics, we're going to be able to rebuild the infrastructure, we're going to be able to rebuild the infrastructure, we're going to be able to rebuild mass building of the infrastructure collective, mass building of the infrastructure of the collective North American civilizational complex, and build more satellites, open up some mountains like Cheyenne, 10 more to get that 11, and build tunnels in case of a thermonuclear war, where we can stack food, survival of citizens, just like the underground Montreal, in terms of a nuclear conflagration and a nuclear war. In terms of a nuclear war, we're going to be able to build and rebuild infrastructure, and build more tunnels and pathways where, of course, we can stack food and tunnels, deep underground, cement, concrete, and rebuild the infrastructure in North America. The DRT for the North American Republic. The king is absent. My brothers and sisters, the king is absent. The king is absent, my brothers and sisters. The king is absent. The king is absent. The king is absent. King is absent. Time for the Canadian North American Union. The Democratic Republic. Putting up for the French language, we will. We made the great linguistic compromise of the French language here. 10 million Quebecers, the great linguistic compromise. Here, 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 10 million Quebecers, the great linguistic compromise of North America. My brothers and sisters, for black, 13.3%. 13.4%, 13.3%, 13.4%, 13.3%, 13.4%. North American citizens, my neighbors included, being black. If I can put on the table hugs, kisses to fight racism, sometimes we got subconscious biases, such as, against skin color and all this. I put hugs, kisses, and I don't have money to finance at the moment, but kisses I got, hugs I got, and we made it this far, North American peace, harmony, linguistic here, French language, come learn some French with us, and do some rock and roll, listen to some Celine Dion, and that's about it, that's all, and encouraging all to work out, train, exercise, grateful, thankful on this Go Public Workers Go, repairing that water main, take some brain, some muscle, made a lot of progress, and I believe my DRT theory is the only solution. I believe my DRT theory is the only solution. I believe my DRT theory, debt refusion theory, is the only solution, and that's why we gotta go drill it with that. That's why we gotta go drill it with that, and we gotta be implementing. And here, of course, we gotta be mindful when we come that here's the midst of the island. We got this beautiful three-peaked, three-summits mountain, Mount Royal, Outremont, Westmont, Mount Royal, Outremont, and Westmont. Of course, we got Mount Royal, Outremont, and Westmont, and of course, we gotta get it on that drill, and we gotta get it on the go. So it's always important to mention that we got privileges and we got a little bit of a hydration to do now, but we gotta do a lot of working out, training, exercising, and always good to be immersed in geopolitics, immersed in things we do. And here you see it's a fence, so all this has been refurbished, and here you gotta be careful because sometimes the branches fall, so I always gotta hear for cracks, and here for those cracks, here for the cracks there, and gotta get it on that door. So now I better see plantation zones here, and that's why it's all fenced in, and it's all fenced in here to make new plantation routes. And sometimes you got a lot of different creatures lying around, coming out. Sometimes you get raccoons. Sometimes there's a family roaming around here, raccoons. squirrels, raccoons, squirrels, chipmunks even. Chipmunks are small though. They're black. They're actually black and white and gray. They're tiny like this, but sometimes you see them roaming, so even rabbits. But rabbits rarely I see here. I know the places where the rabbits are. Usually the rabbits congregate more plains, you know. There are more plains in here, but you might see a rabbit here and there. We got rabbits, we got flora, raccoons, hawks, lots of birds, lots of species of raccoons, crows. There's lots of crows, lots of different birds. If you come here, just be careful because the trees might crack, you know. So you gotta watch for the trees so they don't get cracked, you know. If you hear the noise, just advance, look up and move, you know, so you don't get the crack on the head, man. And for security, safety, see, we got branches, so branches can fall, and just for added security, you know, with liberty, security, it's some things which we gotta do, be mindful of on a daily basis. I got joggers, and we got people working out, training, exercising, and gotta get on that drill, and we're heading straight for the lions to get that hydration, man. People are going there and jogging a little bit, and there we go. Oh yeah. Now we're gonna go get it on the inside, and gotta go drill it, and gotta switch to that French because we're not both province. But I gotta say, I kind of like that. There, how they put two. That's new. See, that's public works. So gotta go check it out a little bit. Those white flowers, see if they smell. Maybe. First time I see them here. This is new, you know, because I know the path. I've been coming here for years, but it's kind of nice. I don't want to damage it, but it's gonna tilt it. Oh yeah, has a little scent a bit. See if they smell. I like it, so. Not a lot, so. A little bit. A little scent, I see this one maybe. I like them, not bad, kind of beautiful flowers there. Let's check these yellow ones. Yellow, I like them a lot. See like that. So. I like them there, but I don't know, they're kind of impeding the circulation, but maybe for safety, man. Safety, maybe we should do like I would do a pathway here, you know, for the half, and I would just redo all this, public works, because you see for the bikes, so we got a lot of public works to do here. See, all this has to be redone. So all this, we'll have to redo it all, roundabout. So we're gonna have to redo all of this all across the mountain, invest in DRT, and we're gonna have to fill all this up. And we're gonna have to put colors. See, we're gonna have to put colors and separate it in two, put a line, and we're gonna have to do a lot of work here. I'm willing to do volunteering, and just do a lot of work like that, and we're gonna go drill it on that, and we're gonna go drill it on the XYZ, and that's my take. Let's do it, Quebecers, Canadians, and DRT, debt refusion theory. We're now gonna switch to that French after we reach the drink there, and gonna go be stretching a little bit on that some, and hey, a lot of infrastructure in North America for 45 years, almost 45 years, more than 44 years, more than 44 years, a lot of neglect, you know. So we got to rebalance the public and the private. We got to balance the private and the public. We got to the public and the private. We got to be rebalancing, of course, the public and the private, and that's what we got to be doing with that, you know. So we got to be mentioning that. So it's always something important which we got to do. And here you can come to the Maison Smith, you know, Maison Smith right here. So that's all we gotta be doing on that. So here we gotta be mindful of these beauties. And public works, we gotta get that public works on the XYZ. We gotta get it on that. So we gotta get it on that X, and always gotta be mindful, of course, of that. And gotta come to hydrate here. This also needs painting. Some color, you know? Some yellow, man. Some yellow. I would paint all this yellow. Just yellow. Yellow orange. Oh, your brushes, right? Yellow brushes up here, right? That's the one. Hydration, hydration. Let's go hydrate, H-Y-D-R-A-T-E, H-Y-D-R-A-T-E, H-Y-D-R-A-T-E. All of it, all of it, all of it. Turning on the gray side, all of it. A-L-L, hydrate. 710. It's not a liter, it's not a liter, not a liter, but we've been on the march already, so we gotta get doing, you know. Oh, the water's a bit on the hot side. Whew. Anyways. English or French, yeah.
Where's the lookout for the city?
With the what? Oh yeah, you're gonna have to go this way. See the big road after they're going there with the cart?
Yeah.
So just keep on the right side. Don't deviate neither to the left nor to the right, and just stay on the big path.
On the big
and you're
path.
gonna get out there. Where are you from?
Philadelphia.
Philly.
Yeah.
How are those Eagles doing?
Yeah, I don't know yet.
All right.
We'll see soon enough, right?
Hey, can you make me a promise
What?
that while you're here, you're gonna eat only local fruits?
I'm trying to. That's
So
all
everything
I'm
that has the fleur de lis, everything in Quebec, Quebec pastries, Quebec beer, Quebec wine, promise?
doing. Bagel.
Everything made in Quebec. When I go to Philadelphia, I'm only gonna buy made in Philadelphia. Deal, buddy? Bye. He's gonna buy only local. That's what I said. I said when you're here, might only Quebec cheese, because we got a good cheese and good wine, good wine, good wine, and good wine, good wine, good wine, and good cheese, and good XYZ, and that's what we're gonna be doing with that. That's what we're gonna be doing with that. That's what we're gonna be doing with that. Gonna be doing. Anyways. Anyways, said only buy, only buy local, you know, only buy local. So we got great cheese, great food, everything that's made in Quebec. When you can come here, that's what I said, you know. And my fellow from Philadelphia who asked me, of course, a lot of questions, and we gotta get on the Philadelphia, get it on the go, get it on the go. So we gotta go on the XYZ, and that's why we gotta go do it with that, you know. So here we gotta get on the drill, and it's always important to meditate and doing on that meditations, and gotta get it on the XYZ, 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 and always meditate. And that's why I say everybody who comes here, please check the fleur de lis and buy Quebec cheeses, Quebec made cheeses, Quebec made wine, Quebec made beer. Everything made in Quebec, everything made in Quebec, everything made in Quebec, you know, Quebec made. And this is my home in this life. the life, and here we are, you know, and financially stressed, but grateful, thankful. Don't mind me a storm, you know. Don't mind me a storm. You know. So, don't mind me a storm. You know. So, don't mind a storm, and that's what it is with that. And there you got 5 police cars, and you got, of course, horses. Horses are police, and I'm going deep in the woods again because that's why I love the DRT. For the creation of the U is the only solution, brothers and sisters. And gonna switch to that French in a bit. I just want to go sniff a little bit of that good wood. You know what I love to be, and it's kind of irrational, but sometimes emotions, feelings, and the irrational matters, and that's what it is. And gotta get it on that drill, and it's always my life. Always starts my fitness journey. Always starts now, and I'm celebrating still. What? Look at that beauty, so white. Ain't that pretty? Ain't that a beauty? Ain't that pretty? Mother Nature, greatest artist and greatest scientist. I don't know. That's wow. That's grow from the tree. From the trees, and that beautiful and amazing. That's a beautiful mushrooms and amazing. That's a beautiful mushroom. See, that's a beautiful mushroom. See, that's a beautiful mushroom. That's a beautiful mushroom. Beautiful white mushroom right there. Kind of very circular around, so you got booty. For the firefighters, those changing up the aqueducts. Here we go. I'm in the pucks. We gonna go up in the rocks. We gonna go up in the flocks. We gonna go up in the rocks. We gonna go up in the bucks. We gonna go up in the rocks. We gonna go up in the rocks. We gonna go up in the laps. We gonna go up in the blocks. We gonna go up in the buck. We gonna go up in the buck. We gonna go up in the sock. We gonna go ready to rock. Up those fingers socks for those public workers, for the bakers, for the nurses, for the doctors, for the truckers, for those on the firefighters. Gotta me some loving. It ain't all about that money. My friend wasn't my friend because of the money, because I never had any. My mind is long as gone, but you know I do the song. And my mind is long as gone, but you know I do the song. But my mind is long as gone, but you know I do the song. It's not all about money, it's not all about fighting. Sometimes loving and doing. An Esprit call with the public workers today, especially those water main fixture or the water main in Montreal. Fix that water main, got confidence in those workers on the ground and that their know-how, expertise, and the technicals, and gonna send them some LOV and let's go, my sisters. A little bit of cheerleading for them. North Americans do a cheerleading squad for the public workers. Do a little bit of cheerleading squad for the public workers. And gotta cultivate our Esprit car. And we gotta love LOVR firefighters, LOVR butchers, LOVR truckers, LOVR daycare workers, LOVR men in uniform, LOV firefighters, LOV butchers, LOV bakers, LOV nurses, LOV doctors, LOV truckers, LOV carpenters, LOV carpenters, electricians, public workers, those picking up the garbage, the recycling with brains and muscle, LOV, those construction workers with the cranes going up and down, you see, building the construction workers, the housing, gotta get it for more work, DRT, finance, fuel the work, man, the DRT, debt refusion, support this independent Aspie artist, and I come here because here the smell is on that good side from that wood when it cracked, and I'll have to come do me some exercises here, and we're gonna go get it. We're gonna go switch to that French because we're in La Belle Province, so we're gonna go all the way to the top. Just gonna tie my belt a bit again and do a little bit of stretching, meditation, and gotta say my gratitude, grateful, thankful that my rent's paid, electricity bill's paid, got food and coffee. Rent's paid, electricity bill's paid, got food and coffee. Rent's paid, electricity bill's paid, got food and coffee. And for those fixing the water main, thank you. Big rainbow dragon hugs. Encourage all to work out, train, exercise, working out. Training and exercising has been, is, and shall continue to be my medicine and therapy of choice. And I call him for the mass financing of citizens to work out, to train, to exercise, and that's what it is with that. And that's what we did for those drills, and that's what we did for those drills, and that's what we did for those now. And LOV firefighters, butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, grocery store clerks, gonna go atop the mountain by the other way. I'm gonna sing in French, and we are La Belle Province. So welcome to Montreal, Harcourt, and Québec, Canadien, North America. Bienvenue. On est déjà à ma deuxième maison, soit la montagne de Montréal, ma deuxième maison. J'adore venir. Je commence par ma gratitude, puis aujourd'hui une autre série de marches, je danse. Parce que je danse avec mes pieds, des fois vous les voyez pas, mais je danse comme au ballet, la danse. Danser est mon sport préféré, la danse est mon sport préféré, la danse. Et mon sport préféré avec la géopolitique, j'ai l'Asperger, ça fait que j'ai des intérêts obsessifs. Et ces intérêts obsessifs, c'est la géopolitique, l'entraînement, la géopolitique, l'entraînement, la géopolitique, bien sûr. La géopolitique 24 sur 24, et bien sûr l'entraînement physique. L'entraînement physique, la géopolitique est mon sport préféré. Puis l'analyse, les études en géopolitique, ça a été, ça sera mon royaume, mon domaine. J'ai prévu la station actuelle, puis aujourd'hui, en marche bien sûr, en marche bien sûr, en marche bien sûr pour les travailleurs publics, puis bien sûr ceux qui font le travail des égouts, puis le bris de l'aqueduc. Il y a un bris d'aqueduc à Montréal, proche du pont Champlain, fait que je dédie cette semaine, ça va être spécialement aux travailleurs qui vont la reconstruire, rebâtir, puis qui ont fait bien sûr le travail de sauvetage et de réhabilitation avec amour, rock'n'roll. Il y a un peu de comédie parce que je suis artiste, j'ai l'Asperger, je suis Esprit, mais je suis philosophe, artiste, athlète et analyste et théoricien en géopolitique. Rock'n'roll, puis j'ai confiance dans les travailleurs comme ils ont fait dans le 20e siècle pour qu'on rebâtit, construit du renouveau. On a bien besoin du renouveau, comme quand on a besoin de mettre un peu de bleu, blanc et rouge. Peinturer ces petits pour les oiseaux, pour nous autres, parce que ça prend un partenariat public-privé. Tout ce que je fais, bien sûr, c'est un travail, un appel pour un partenariat public-privé pour les bains. Ici, j'aimerais ça les peinturer. Amenez-moi la peinture. Amenez-moi la permission, amenez-moi les pinceaux, je vais faire du bénévolat avec amour, parce que c'est ma deuxième maison ici. C'est ma deuxième maison, fait que je le ferai avec amour, puis avec esprit de corps, avec un esprit de corps, avec un esprit de corps, parce que c'est pas tout de l'argent, des fois il faut cultiver l'esprit de corps, puis ce partenariat public-privé, qu'est-ce qu'on a en commun ici? Ça vaut la peine de défendre, ça vaut la peine de peinturer ça pour les enfants, toutes les bains, pour du renouveau, pour les enfants, pour les jeunes, pour tous ceux qui viennent. Les touristes, ils viennent rencontrer cher citoyen de la Philadelphie. Qu'est-ce que je lui dis? Qu'est-ce que je dis à tous les touristes? Je leur parle soit de l'Hydro-Québec, bien sûr, je leur parle soit de l'Hydro-Québec, bien sûr, je leur parle de l'Hydro-Québec, ça pollue pas, l'énergie est renouvelable. Je suis bien excité pour en construire d'autres centrales, puis bien sûr, pour en construire d'autres enfants, d'autres centrales, bien sûr. Et bien sûr, je leur parle aussi que je les encourage, bien sûr, d'acheter du local, bien sûr, d'acheter du local. Ça veut dire d'acheter des produits qui ont la fleur de lys, de la bière, bien sûr, de la bière, bien sûr, et bien sûr, c'est de la bière, et pas juste de la bière, mais juste des produits, bien sûr, qui sont au Québec, bien sûr, ces produits alimentaires, comme bien sûr, je le mettrai bien sûr pour qu'ils achètent tous des produits alimentaires, pas juste des sucreries, puis du vachon, puis des produits alimentaires du Québec, des produits alimentaires, les saucisses du Québec, le fromage du Québec, et bien sûr tous les produits du Québec, parce qu'on a tellement. Là. C'est ça, je l'ai dit tantôt, aux citoyens qui est venu de la Philadelphie, comme je dis à tous les touristes, je leur fais promettre, là, c'est sûr que je sais pas s'ils vont tenir leurs promesses, là, mais il faut que vous faites attention quand vous traversez, juste tourner la tête de gauche à droite, là. De gauche à droite, parce que des fois, les freins ne fonctionnent pas bien, là, fait que c'est quelque chose, bien sûr, qu'il faut qu'on médite. Faut qu'on médite, bien sûr, fait que juste pour être prudent, de tourner la tête de gauche à droite. Mais anyways, j'aime cette couleur jaune, là. C'est orange, là. Je sais pas, ça fait bien. Tu sais, une couleur comme ça, j'aimerais peinturer les bancs. Plusieurs couleurs, là, mais ce orange, il est beau, je trouve. peinturé une coupe orange, une coupe bleue. Orange comme ça, vif. Hein? Ça serait bon. Je le ferai avec amour, là. Je mets de la peinture. Amenez-moi les pinceaux, la peinture, la permission, tu sais. Il y a bien des bancs, bien des bancs, bien des bancs. Bien sûr, bien des bancs, bien des bancs. Bien des bancs, bien des bancs, bien des bancs. Ça, c'est comme celui-là aussi, ici. Couleur jaune, orange, comme ça. C'est un peu brun. Peinture. La petite dature, les peinturés, tu sais. Peinturer une couleur. Anyways, fait qu'aujourd'hui, on rentre encore comme on rentre d'habitude. Ici, dans la forêt, de la montagne, je tourne la tête. Parce que des fois, les freins fonctionnent mal. On va voir s'il y a des abeilles, puis on rentre dans la forêt. Parce que ça, c'est le chemin principal. Fait que les gens ils restent plus sur le chemin principal. Fait que nous, on y va sur la forêt, bien sûr, dans la forêt. Et on rentre ici, vous voyez? Où qu'il y a des abeilles, il y a des miel dans le jaune. Les frères, ça veut dire qu'il y a du miel, oui, et où? Le miel que j'en trouve. Et voilà, c'est des abeilles, plus en fait, de l'amour, bien sûr. Pour les abeilles, où qu'il y a des abeilles, il y a du miel. J'en veux un peu, les temps écoute bien dur. Hey, les abeilles. Et les abeilles, puis ça fasse. Regarde, pour qu'il y ait du miel, je rentre dans la forêt maintenant profonde. Et je veux commencer encore une fois pour dire, puis encourager les gens, bien sûr, à faire de l'entraînement physique, puis je vous encourage, bien sûr, à faire de l'entraînement physique, tous ces mondes qui sont ici, puis j'encourage les gens à faire de l'entraînement physique en célébrant 7 ans encore. Aujourd'hui, je célèbre 7 ans depuis que moi-même, j'ai traversé le Canada en août et en septembre. Puis quand j'ai sorti de la dépression, en 2017, en août, je suis allé de l'autre bord, à l'ouest, à Vancouver, en Colombie-Britannique. J'ai traversé le Canada, après ça, on est revenu. Je suis allé à Halifax, des Maritimes, en Nouvelle-Écosse. Cet événement dans ma vie, ça a fait dire une illumination, puis un petit réveil. Je dis tellement de choses à faire, à voir au Québec. Au Canada, j'ai sorti de la dépression, j'ai commencé à m'entraîner. Là, dernièrement, les 45 derniers mois, là, durant la COVID, j'ai accepté mon Asperger's, encore une fois. L'Asperger's, je suis Esprit. Ce n'est pas une condition de maladie mentale, c'est une condition de neurodivergence psychique. C'est une condition de neurodivergence psychique. C'est une condition de neurodivergence psychique. C'est une condition de neurodivergence mentale et psychique. Ça fait que j'ai des intérêts obsessifs. Mais la trinité de votre dragon arc-en-ciel androgène pansexuel, des fois, c'est monsieur et madame, je chante rock'n'roll pour les travailleurs publics, et des fois, monsieur et madame, en écarlate, c'est le rouge, une couleur bêche raide, le conjugue. Ça travaille fort, on travaille plus. Besoin du renouveau, de l'infrastructure de la belle province. Hey. Puis bien sûr, ce côté de côté, mais l'Asperger's, c'est ça que c'est une condition de neurodivergence mentale. Fait que ça fait de moi-même que j'ai ma trinité d'intérêts obsessifs. Depuis des années, je me réveille, je fais mes salutations solaires parce que le soleil est mon pape, j'ai ma spiritualité de méditation, puis j'y crois à la réincarnation. J'ai été né plusieurs fois, homme-femme, des fois homme sur l'île de Montréal. Puis bien sûr, des fois homme, des fois femme, des fois femme, des fois homme, des fois femme, des fois homme, des fois femme, des fois homme. Puis j'ai survécu la COVID. La COVID, pour moi, c'était comme la mort, la pestilence, puis la maladie. La COVID, pour moi, c'était comme la mort, la pestilence, puis la maladie. J'ai survécu la COVID, puis c'était comme la mort, la pestilence, puis la maladie. En février 2020, février-mars 2020, février-mars, tout au début, je l'ai eu, en tout cas. Fait qu'encore une fois, l'Asperger, c'est ça que ça fait que j'ai ces intérêts obsessifs. Puis quand je suis dans ces intérêts obsessifs, comme à la marche, dans ce entraînement physique que je considère comme mon conditionnement physique, c'est une de mes obsessions. Le sport, l'entraînement physique, l'éducation physique, le sport, l'entraînement physique, le sport, l'entraînement physique, le sport, l'entraînement physique, c'est mon intérêt obsessif. La danse est mon sport préféré. Danser est mon sport préféré. La danse est mon sport préféré. Je peux danser pendant des heures. Ben j'adore la boxe, le hockey, le football américain. Moins le soccer, là, mais le football américain aussi. Là, San Francisco 49ers. Ça. En tout cas, ça fait que je me réveille, puis des années, des analyses, des théories, des révisions de géopolitique. Puis je peux dire que ça, c'est mon royaume puis mon domaine. Puis du point de vue, j'ai la preuve. J'ai prévu la situation actuelle en 2019. Salut. Faut que je me tasse des cyclistes pour la prudence. Ça, je fais toujours attention, mais c'est juste simplement garder la droite, tu sais. Garder la droite. Mais leur sécurité, comme ils s'en viennent, je vais me tasser. Puis je vais me tasser ici, juste pour les laisser passer en sécurité. En sécurité, puis là je commence, je fais un compromis, tu sais, parce que ma sécurité, ma liberté, que ça soit bien sûr en harmonie totale avec la leur, tu sais. C'est simplement garder la droite comme à la conduite ici, puis je veux qu'on peinture le chemin principal. Moi ici, on peut pas peinturer ici, là. On laisse ça de même dans le boisé, mais ça me dérange pas de me tasser un peu si je les vois, surtout s'ils sont plus jeunes en famille, ça me fait plaisir de faire ce geste citoyen, de me tasser un peu par la droite, parce que on fait un compromis, comme qu'on a fait le grand compromis linguistique du français, pour qu'en continuité qu'on aille la paix, bien sûr qu'on aille la paix, la continuité de avoir la paix, puis l'harmonie en Amérique du Nord. Qu'est-ce que j'appelle le collectif de civilisation nord-américain? Qu'est-ce que j'appelle le collectif de civilisation nord-américain? Qu'est-ce que j'appelle le collectif de civilisation nord-américain? Dans le collectif de civilisation nord-américain. Dans le collectif de civilisation nord-américain. Bien sûr, qu'est-ce que j'appelle le collectif de civilisation nord-américain. Puis dans une vie parallèle, j'ai aussi l'Asperger, j'y connais tout. Sur l'ordinateur, les satellites, les micropuces, les 3G, 4G, 5G. C'est ça mon intérêt obsessif dans l'autre vie parallèle. Maintenant, il commence à pleuvoir un peu, fait que je vais me mettre quelque part à l'abri. Il commence à pleuvoir pour que je puisse me mettre à l'abri. Je pense que je suis bien mieux de descendre pour aller côté par ici pour voir le castor. Puis vu qu'il mouille, bien sûr, en train de mouiller, bien sûr, un beau. En tout cas, je pense qu'il y a des coups de tonnerre peut-être. Et bien sûr, ça c'est un beau petit bijou, ça c'est du radio puis la télé, mais dans une vie parallèle, je sais bien sûr tout comment ça fonctionne, bien sûr, cette affaire, qu'on aille bien sûr ici, bien sûr, cette affaire dans une vie parallèle, je la connais. Anyways, on va aller juste grouiller un peu, puis je vais juste discuter la théorie de la revision de la dette, mais encore une fois, je veux dire qu'aujourd'hui, c'est pour cet événement de marche danse et pour ceux qui travaillent, bien sûr, ceux qui travaillent dans les travailleurs publics, ceux qui travaillent dans les travailleurs publics et qui sont en train de changer les aqueducs. Puis, vous savez, par ma TRD, la théorie de la refusion de la dette, je fais appel à tous et toutes de soutenir, bien sûr, l'implémentation de ma TRD, de la TRD. Puis je vais aller par ici parce que je vais aller en arrière, la montagne, comme ça on va faire un petit entraînement, mais je vais discuter la TRD maintenant parce que ça vient que j'ai été maudit par l'Asperger, que je peux vous présenter la TRD, la théorie de la refusion de la dette. C'est bien sûr la théorie de la refusion de la dette que je puisse vous présenter, puis c'est la seule solution quand je m'en vais maintenant faire une méditation sur les travaux publics. Il y a ceux qui sont en train de changer les aqueducs et puis tout le travail qui se font maintenant. Puis bien sûr, s'il y a des coups de tonnerre, il va falloir que faites attention parce que des fois, il y a des qui brisent. Faites attention parce que des fois, il y a ça craque. Hein? Parlez-vous français? Oui. OK, juste faites attention si vous entendez des choses parce qu'il y a des branches pour votre sécurité. Là, parce que ça peut tomber comme que vous pouvez voir. Là. Okay. Juste soyez prudente, OK? Merci. Bye bye. Bye. Bonne journée à vous. Fait que je leur ai dit que, parce que je sais que ça tombe des fois. Moi-même, je l'ai vécu, vous voyez, tout ça, les branches, là, ils tombent. Fait que, ils savent pas, des fois, il y a des branches qui tombent, là. Fait que, je leur ai dit pour qu'ils soient prudents pour leur sécurité, parce que, tiens, ici, ça peut tomber de même, là. Ça peut tomber de même. Je veux qu'ils reviennent, qu'ils s'amusent, puis les gens ici, soient prudents, là, parce que, des fois, t'entends, ça craque, mais moi, l'autre jour, c'est craqué quand même 44 pieds au mètre à gauche puis à droite, là, c'était pas loin, mais j'ai entendu, puis j'ai vu plusieurs fois dans les 7 années passées, là, puis surtout les 3 ans et demi, là, le changement climatique et tout, là, vous voyez, ça débranche, puis c'est sûr qu'il y en a qui sont tassés sur le chemin, mais les branches, ça, comme ceux-là, là, ça vient d'en haut, ça. Ça vient d'en haut, ça vient d'en haut. Fait que si vous entendez craquer, moi-même, incluant moi-même, ici, vous voyez, tout ça, ces branches-là, là, il y en a qui sont plus grosses que l'autre, c'est pour ça que je leur dis petit mot de sécurité, là, parce que s'ils commencent à vanter, puis il y a des tonnerres, puis il y a la foudre, là, puis tout ça, là, puis qu'ils regardent d'en haut, puis soient prudentes, pour leur prudence, vigilance, qu'ils regardent pour pas que ça... Je connais la montagne, je connais les branches, c'est ma deuxième maison ici, fait que j'en ai vu moi-même. Comme ici, là, je vous donne un exemple concret ici. Ici, ben, c'est un petit chemin, mais tu vois, ça a craqué, ça. Ça a craqué, ça a tombé, tu sais, ça peut tomber pour quelqu'un. Justement, juste là. Ça a craqué, ça fait que c'est juste pour être prudence, pour pas leur faire mal, tu sais, puis c'est prudent pour éviter imprudence, tu sais, juste... Un petit mot par amour, là, concitoyen, cousine, famille québécoise, tous ceux qui viennent nous rejoindre, tu sais. Des fois, s'ils savent pas la montagne, je leur ai dit par là, puis juste faire attention, là, parce que des fois, il y a des branches qui peuvent tomber, tu sais, fait que, en connaissant la montagne, comme mes confrères, consoeurs, qui fassent leur entraînement physique, c'est bien beau, mais quand même, il faut être prudent. Bon, la théorie de la refusion de la dette, je vous l'explique maintenant parce que c'est la seule et unique solution, mes chers Québécois et Québécoises. Il n'y a pas d'autre solution là. En ce moment. Vous pouvez dire de la gauche, la droite, il n'y a pas de solution qu'on puisse implémenter que la TRD. C'est la théorie de la refusion de la dette. Et bien sûr, il faut faire l'implémentation de cette théorie. Ça, c'est une grosse branche qui est tombée là. Vous voyez, ça vient d'en haut, ça. Et ici aussi, ça a tellement tombé, vous voyez que ça a fait un bris sur les... c'est le bord là-bas, là, ça a tombé sur les poteaux, sur les poteaux de la grille, puis ça a fait craquer sur la grille un peu, tu sais. Ça a fait craquer sur la grille, qu'est-ce qu'on appelle bien sûr ici la grille un peu, là, ça a fait tomber dessus, fait que c'est ça la clôture, là. C'est comme une clôture grille, c'est plus une grille pour la protection là, des plantations que je fais parce qu'on essaie de faire la réhabilitation. Fait qu'aujourd'hui, en marchant cette marche rock'n'roll dans ma deuxième maison de la montagne, en vous encourageant tous et toutes, en faisant l'entraînement physique, c'est ma médecine et thérapie de choix, célébrant 7 ans depuis que j'ai sorti de la dépression, quand j'ai traversé le Canada de côte à côte, 7 ans depuis que j'ai traversé le Canada de côte à côte, 7 ans depuis que j'ai traversé le Canada de côte à côte, mais je viens ici, puis ça fait bien sûr du bon travail, puis j'adore venir ici, puis vous voyez, temps gagné, nature perdue. C'est juste fait attention parce que on essaie de protéger les parcs. Puis ici, c'est une forêt. Là. C'est une forêt dans la montagne, ça. Forêt dans la montagne, c'est pas juste ma montagne. Ça m'appartient pas. C'est pas juste ma montagne. C'est la mienne, la tienne, la vôtre. Puis je vais discuter la TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette. Bien sûr, maintenant, Québécois, c'est quoi? C'est la seule et unique solution. La TRD, c'est la seule et unique solution. Je dis à cause de j'étais maudit par l'Asperger's. Puis avec l'implémentation de ma TRD, on va pouvoir rebâtir l'infrastructure du collectif d'associations nord-américains du Québec, du Canada, puis de l'Amérique du Nord. Parce que fondamentalement, c'est un appel pour un partenariat public-privé que je fais appel à tous et toutes à soutenir mon rêve qui se manifeste comme le royaume de la déesse et du dragon qui danse, qui est fondamentalement un appel pour un partenariat public-privé en tant que philosophe, artiste, athlète avec Asperger's, puis dragon arc-en-ciel avec le rock'n'roll 24/24 parce que c'est ça mes intérêts obsessifs, la géopolitique, l'entraînement physique, le sport, la danse c'est mon sport préféré, puis avec le rock'n'roll en tant que philosophe, rock'n'roll artiste, je vous dis, je vous salue les travailleurs qui ont fait le bris d'aqueduc, la réparation du bris d'aqueduc. Je leur offre des câlins, des bisous et des chatouilles sur la table. Bien de l'amour parce qu'il faut avoir un esprit de corps. Il faut avoir un esprit de corps pour la défense du collectif de chercheurs nord-américains parce que qu'est-ce qui se passe maintenant dans le monde, dans la géopolitique, je l'ai prévu en 2019. En 2019, j'ai prévu la situation actuelle. Bien sûr, de qu'est-ce qui se déroule maintenant. J'ai prévu la situation actuelle de qu'est-ce qui se déroule maintenant en géopolitique. Je l'ai prévu en 2019. J'ai prévu la situation actuelle de qu'est-ce qui se passe en ce moment dans le monde parce que je suis un analyste et théoricien en géopolitique, puis c'est ça mon intérêt obsessif, puis c'est ça que je fais bien sûr, 24 sur 24 avec le sport, l'entraînement physique, et c'est ça mon intérêt obsessif en étant bien sûr ici à ma deuxième maison, en vous encourageant de la montagne, faisant ces longs vlogs depuis plusieurs années, puis en tant que YouTuber, je dois dire bien sûr que ma gratitude, même si maintenant je vis juste un stress financier en ce moment, je vis seulement un stress financier en ce moment, en crise financière, mais mon loyer est payé, j'ai payé mon loyer, payé ma facture d'électricité, j'ai du café et du thé, j'ai payé mon loyer, j'ai payé ma facture d'électricité, j'ai payé mon loyer, j'ai payé ma facture d'électricité, j'ai du café et du thé, puis bien sûr l'entraînement physique a été seulement ma médecine et thérapie de choix, et bien sûr ma médecine et thérapie de choix, l'entraînement physique, puis avec du rock'n'roll, puis bien sûr la gratitude. Même si je vis un stress financier, je suis quand même joyeux. Mon loyer est payé mon loyer pour le mois d'août, le 20 août aujourd'hui. J'ai payé ma facture d'électricité, j'ai du café, petit thé, la nourriture chez nous, puis j'encourage les travailleurs publics à avoir l'amour, puis avec un esprit de corps. C'est encore une session cette semaine, aujourd'hui, premier jour de la pleine lune, parce que hier, à 3 heures, la pleine lune a atteint son sommet, puis moi, je célèbre 3 jours de la pleine lune, fait qu'aujourd'hui, c'est le premier, mercredi, demain, ça va être le deuxième, puis ça va être le troisième, si avec votre aide ici, aider à construire la pyramide maison du dragon rouge écarlate en pyramide maison du dragon rouge écarlate. Ici avec le temple de la déesse oubliée, le temple de la déesse oubliée à 7 étages pour des activités comme l'entraînement physique, puis la méditation, puis pour le collectif de Civilisation nord-américain, soutenez mon rêve, qui est fondamentalement un appel à un partenariat public-privé. Ah ouais. Partenariat public-privé, bien sûr. Construisons ensemble le temple de la déesse pour les activités comme la pleine lune, la célébration de la pleine lune et ses activités de plein air, puis pour la nature, puis pour l'interprétation des rêves, puis la danse, l'armée qui danse, puis l'armée du dragon, la maison du dragon. J'ai juste besoin d'une pyramide, aider à construire. Help build here the pyramid, scarlet, red, crimson, pyramid, house of the dragon, scarlet, red, crimson, house of the dragon. Face to face with the forgotten goddess temple for activities in a circle 7 stories south for activities such as dream interpretation, tarot reading, astrology, house of the dragon, face to face with the forgotten goddess temple, face to face with the forgotten goddess temple and the house of the dragon there. And now we're gonna run. We're gonna switch to that French again. Et la théorie de la refusion de la dette, la TRD, mes chers Québécois, c'est la seule solution pour qu'est-ce qu'on est rendu maintenant, de payer d'intérêt sur la dette publique. Je peux vous dire ça avec amour, puis avec vigueur, que en étant un esprit, mes intérêts obsessifs de la géopolitique, mon intérêt sur la géopolitique, c'est mon royaume et mon domaine. La géopolitique, j'y connais quand même tout dedans. Je suis un docteur indépendant de la géopolitique, analyste et théoricien en géopolitique, je peux vous le dire, parce que c'est ça que je fais depuis des années, l'analyse, l'étude en géopolitique, l'analyse, et les études en géopolitique, l'analyse, les études en géopolitique, l'analyse, les études en géopolitique, l'analyse. Et l'étude en géopolitique, l'analyse, et les études en géopolitique, c'est ça que je fais, bien sûr, puis c'est ça mon intérêt obsessif, et bien sûr, c'est ça que je vous présente sur la table, bien sûr, la TRD, c'est la seule et unique solution, il n'y a pas d'autre solution en ce moment que la TRD. Quand on étudie la géopolitique, on doit savoir un peu sur les finances publiques, on doit savoir un peu sur les finances Public sur les finances, Public sur les finances, Public. Et donc, quand on connaît sur les finances publiques, on doit les savoir. Et bien sûr, maintenant, on est rendu à payer. Écoutez ça, on paye maintenant au Canada. Ça, c'est les chiffres, vous pouvez vérifier vous-même. C'est des chiffres qui sont pas secrets. C'est des chiffres publics. On paye 46,5 milliards cette année d'intérêt sur la dette publique. 46,5 milliards sur la dette publique. On paye 46,5 milliards sur la dette publique. En 2020-2021, on paye 20,3 milliards. Oubliez que je sois rock'n'roll en arc-en-ciel dragon. Juste, il faut vous focuser là-dessus parce que vous pouvez être de la droite, puis de la gauche, puis bien sûr laisser les choses privées, tout ça, que j'ai une sexualité bien sûr bizarre, avec le sadomasochisme et tout ça, là, que j'ai mis sur la table en ouvertement libre parce que je veux pas que les Russes m'espionnent, ni les Chinois qu'il faut pas qu'ils traversent l'Atlantique pour venir nous voir, ni le Pacifique, qui restent là, pas besoin de m'espionner là-dessus. Les États-Unis, l'Allemagne de l'Est sont partis durant la guerre froide de plus que 44 ans et 9 mois, quasiment 45 ans, quasiment 45 ans, quasiment 45 ans. Et bien sûr, c'est ça, et l'entraînement physique, c'est ça. Mais l'entraînement physique, c'est ça, de l'entraînement physique. Et c'est ça qu'il faut faire, bien sûr, de l'entraînement physique. Et bien sûr, c'est ça qu'il faut faire, bien sûr. Puis c'est l'entraînement physique qu'il faut qu'on fasse. Puis il faut faire l'implémentation de la théorie de la refusion de la dette. La théorie de la refusion de la dette, la TRD, c'est la seule et unique solution, c'est la seule et unique solution pour sauver, bien sûr, maintenant, nous connaît entier avec la dette publique. Fait que la TRD, c'est la théorie de la refusion de la dette. Et bien sûr, il faut faire, bien sûr, la théorie de la dette, l'implémentation le plus tôt possible. C'est la seule unique solution, bien sûr, pour faire l'implémentation de cette théorie. Il faut faire la théorie de la refusion de la dette. Il faut faire l'implémentation de la théorie de la dette, théorie de la refusion de la dette. On va voir si le soleil sort. On va rentrer par ici, par là-bas. On va discuter la TRD. Je vais me tasser du chemin des cyclistes. Là. Et je vais rentrer dans où je suis allé ici, à Belvedere. Puis je vais continuer à parler de la TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, théorie de la refusion de la dette, la TRD. Donc, c'est quoi la TRD? On va prendre toute la dette publique, toute la dette publique privée. On va faire une refusion, fait que ma dette, votre dette, puis ici vous pouvez voir en haut, bien sûr, que ici il y a les marques de l'histoire du Québec, puis je veux qu'on mette d'autres peintures vis-à-vis aux constructions des ponts et des centrales de l'Hydro-Québec. C'est le temps qu'on mette une là, les sentiers, il y a une des places là. On peut mettre les centrales de l'Hydro-Québec, on peut mettre... Ça, c'est l'histoire du Québec, du Canada, en haut. Fait qu'on peut mettre, bien sûr, l'histoire du Québec et du Canada, du Québec et du Canada, bien sûr, qu'on peut mettre ici, ensemble. Vous voyez ici, on rentre dedans, oui. On check ici, checkez ça. On va voir ici. Vous voyez ici, c'est l'intérêt, bien sûr. C'est des photos qui marquent l'histoire. Québec, depuis 1532, 1500, 1500, 1600, 1600, 1700, puis là, ça avance, là, mais on devrait mettre aussi les règles de l'Hydro-Québec, Ça serait comme mettre, bien sûr, d'autres. Voyons, c'est ça que c'est, mais c'est pas beaucoup de monde qui savent, là, mais c'est ça que c'est. That's what it is up there, see? Up there is the history of Quebec, Canada from 1532, 1600, 1600. There's not a lot of people that know. Il n'y a pas beaucoup de gens qui le savent, mais c'est ça que c'est, ces peintures-là. C'est intéressant comment elles sont belles quand même, mais c'est ça. That's what those paintings are, the history of Quebec. Kind of goes in a circle and then comes from there, see? Là, ça vient d'être là. Comes from there and it goes roundabout and that's probably Jacques Cartier. Ça, c'est peut-être Jacques Cartier, je suis pas sûr, là. Mais c'est comme, on doit mettre des nouvelles dans le 20e siècle aussi, des nouveaux constructions des satellites. Hydro-Québec dams, what do you say? Let's build some more with the hydroelectric dams, hydroelectric dams. That's what we gotta get doing on that. Now we gotta get doing for the DRT and I'm gonna discuss the DRT now, man. I'm gonna discuss the DRT. So that's what we're gonna do, Fait que la théorie de la refusion de la dette, on va prendre toute la dette, public-privé, ma dette de 10 000, ça c'est la théorie de la refusion de la dette, ça contient bien sûr la théorie d'intégration monétaire, c'est quoi la théorie d'intégration monétaire? C'est exactement qu'est-ce qu'ils ont fait, bien sûr, qu'est-ce qu'ils ont fait dans l'Europe, la communauté européenne, bien sûr, ils ont fait de la création d'une nouvelle banque, la Banque centrale de l'Europe, puis on fait de la création de l'unité d'échange qui s'appelle l'euro. Ils ont fait la construction d'une unité d'échange qui s'appelle l'euro. Fait que nous, ma théorie de la refusion de la dette, ça contient. Fait que ma théorie de la refusion de la dette, ça contient la théorie d'intégration monétaire, ça contient la théorie d'intégration monétaire. Ma théorie, c'est exactement qu'est-ce qu'on fait en Europe. Fait que je vous l'explique maintenant le plus simplement possible parce que je suis Asperger, puis des fois l'Asperger, ça fait que je parle bien sûr avec des mots trop sophistiqués, trop intellectuels, trop philosophiques, trop abstraits aussi. C'est une chose qu'on a les Esprits, donc il faut que je fasse la gestion de mes symptômes, puis je vais essayer le plus possible parce qu'il n'y a pas de médicament. Pour l'Asperger, il n'y a pas de médicament, il faut juste que je fasse la gestion de mes symptômes, il faut que je fasse bien sûr la gestion de mes symptômes, il faut que je fasse bien sûr la gestion de mes symptômes. Fait que la gestion de mes symptômes, il faut que je la fasse en ce moment aussi. Fait que c'est quoi la TRD? On va prendre toute la dette publique privée, toute la dette publique privée. Donc ma dette de 10 500, la mienne, la vôtre, la mienne, la tienne. Fait toute la dette public-privé, bien encore, tenez compte que ma TRD, ça contient la théorie d'intégration monétaire. Qu'est-ce qu'ils ont fait en Europe pour la création de la Banque centrale, la création de l'euro. Fait qu'on va prendre toute la dette public-privé, ma dette de 10 500, ma dette, votre dette, ma dette, la tienne de compte à compte. Toute la dette, ma dette de 10 500, la mienne, la vôtre, puis vu qu'on paye 46,5 milliards d'intérêts, il n'y a pas d'autre solution parce qu'en 2020-2021, on paye 20,3. 20,3 fois 2, ça aurait été 40,6. Maintenant, on paye 46,5 milliards. 46,5 milliards. 46,5 milliards pour la dette publique. Juste payer l'intérêt sur la dette publique. Juste payer l'intérêt sur la dette publique. Juste payer sur la dette publique, bien sûr. Fait qu'on va prendre toute la dette publique-privée, bien sûr, ma dette de 10 500, la mienne, la tienne, la vôtre, on va la prendre tout ensemble de côte à côte. Fait que toute la dette publique-privée, on va faire une refusion, on va mettre tout ça ensemble, toute la dette publique-privée, on va mettre bien sûr toute la dette, ma dette, votre dette, toute la dette de côte à côte. On va faire une refusion, vu que le dollar des États-Unis, c'est encore la dette. Le dollar des États-Unis est encore la monnaie de choix pour le commerce du monde, les finances internationales, l'import, l'export, puis bien sûr, le tourisme. L'argent des États-Unis est encore la première devise du monde. Fait qu'on va prendre toute la dette publique-privée, on va faire une refusion. Toute cette dette-là, on va faire la conversion dans la devise des États-Unis. La dette publique privée du Canada en dollars canadiens, on va faire la conversion dans le dollar des États-Unis, le US dollar. Tout ça avec le Mexique. On va prendre tout ça ensemble, bien sûr, tout ça ensemble, on va mettre tout ça ensemble. Fait que ça va être des milliards. Toute cette dette publique-privée, ça peut être avec le Mexique aussi, mais je parle bien sûr du Canada, États-Unis, binational. Fait que toute la dette publique-privée, on va prendre ensemble, c'est ça la théorie de la refusion de la dette. On va mettre ensemble, on va faire un paquet, ça va faire un gros milliard. Cet argent-là, ça va être l'argent initial. Ça va être l'argent initial de cette nouvelle banque. Tout cet argent, la dette, ça va être l'argent initial pour cette nouvelle banque-là. Pour cette nouvelle banque. On va mettre un taux d'intérêt, on va faire la création d'une nouvelle monnaie comme les Européens ont fait, parce que les Allemands, en Europe, ils ont laissé faire le Deutschmark, les Italiens ont laissé faire le Lira. Oh yeah, you guys want to sit here? Sure, man, sure, I'm just me, no problem. You're welcome. Gonna go there, man. Gonna go on. On va aller par l'autre bord, puis on va aller par l'autre bord là-bas, puis on va discuter la théorie de la dette, On va se mettre dans le côté ici. Fait qu'on va prendre toute la dette publique-privée, On va mettre tout ça ensemble, toute la dette publique-privée. Ça va faire une refusion, on va mettre toute la dette publique-privée. Fait qu'on va faire toute cette dette-là, ça va être l'ensemble de cette dette. On va faire la création d'une nouvelle monnaie d'échange. Fait que toute la dette publique-privée, toute la dette publique-privée, toute ma dette, votre dette, toute la dette de Canada du côte à côte. Tout cet argent-là, ça va être de l'argent initial pour une nouvelle banque, Cette banque-là, bien sûr, on peut l'appeler comment qu'on l'appelle, mais ça va faire la création d'une unité d'échange universelle, Et bien sûr, on va mettre toute la taux d'intérêt, bien sûr, qu'on va mettre un taux d'intérêt de 10%. On va faire la création d'une nouvelle monnaie basée sur la devise des États-Unis. Fait que toute la dette publique-privée, ça va être l'argent initial de cette nouvelle banque. Ça va être dans des milliards. On va faire la création avec cet argent, ça va fonder l'argent, ça va être l'argent initial pour la création de cette nouvelle banque. Comment qu'on peut l'appeler? Bien sûr, on va pouvoir l'appeler UI. U.unité, échange universel, unité d'échange universel. U.unité, échange universel, unité d'échange universel. U.unité, échange universel. U.unité, échange universel. UI. Pour la création, bien sûr, de l'UI, on va mettre un taux d'intérêt de 10%. Fait qu'en bas de 10, mais pas plus par principe. Ça peut être 7.7, 3.33, 1.56, 6.1, 9.3, en bas de 10. Fait que tout l'argent de la dette publique-privée, mon 10 500 en tant que citoyen, ça a fondé cette nouvelle banque. Cette nouvelle banque, ça va s'appeler comment qu'on l'appelle, ça n'a pas tellement d'importance. Les Européens l'appellent la Banque centrale de l'Europe. On peut l'appeler la Banque centrale de l'Amérique du Nord. On peut s'intégrer transatlantique avec les Européens. Mais premièrement, Canada, États-Unis, binational. Et bien sûr, pour les autres, bien sûr, on va faire la conversion de cette nouvelle monnaie. Ça va être mettre un taux d'intérêt de 10%. Ça va être dans des milliards. On va faire la création de l'UI, basée sur la valeur du dollar des États-Unis. U.unité, échange universel. U.unité, échange universel. UI. L'unité d'échange universel, on va baser sur le dollar des États-Unis. On va mettre un taux d'intérêt de 10% maximum. C'est la solution. La seule et unique solution, la TRD de votre dragon arc-en-ciel, parce que là, on paye 46,5 milliards sur la dette publique d'intérêt. Intérêt seulement qu'on paye sur la dette publique, c'est rendu 46,5 milliards. Il n'y a pas d'autre solution. Vous pouvez vous ostiner tant que vous voudrez, jusqu'à 7 ans, le prix s'en vienne. La gauche, la droite, c'est la seule et unique solution. C'est la TRD, la théorie de la refusion de la dette qui inclut la théorie d'intégration monétaire, la T-théorie R, refusion de la dette. La TRD, avec cet argent-là, on va pouvoir rebâtir l'infrastructure de l'Amérique du Nord. On va pouvoir rebâtir l'infrastructure de l'Amérique du Nord. Le Canada, le geyser qui vient de péter, les aqueducs. Et bien sûr, on va pouvoir financer les gens à faire l'entraînement physique, On va financer les gens à faire de l'entraînement physique. On va rebâtir l'infrastructure. On va fonder les deux institutions de partenariat public-privé, pour le collectif de Civilisation nord-américain, rebâtir l'infrastructure du collectif nord-américain. On va pouvoir rebâtir l'infrastructure. Il faut avoir un esprit de corps là-dessus pour le collectif de Civilisation nord-américain. Donc, on a fait le grand compromis linguistique du français, la langue du français, le grand compromis linguistique du français, la langue du français. On va faire le grand compromis linguistique du français, bien sûr, du français qu'on fait, puis avec nos frères et sœurs noirs, les 13,4% de la population, on a fait pour avoir l'harmonie continue, puis ici, on va bâtir l'infrastructure, comme vous voyez, ça c'est l'île de la Vache, c'est l'île de Montréal, on va pouvoir rebâtir d'autres centrales, Hydro-Québec, on va pouvoir rebâtir l'infrastructure, on va financer les gens, on fait l'entraînement physique, bien sûr, on va faire l'infrastructure, on va ramasser, bien sûr, l'infrastructure, on va financer les deux institutions de partenariat public-privé, l'armée du dragon pour la sécurité, la défense puis le service, 21e siècle, la sécurité, le service puis la défense, la sécurité puis le service, la sécurité puis le service puis la défense, puis l'armée du dragon de l'Amérique nord-américaine intégrée pour citoyenne pour la défense de la sécurité, puis l'armée du dragon avec ça, principalement avec l'armée de la déesse qui danse, pour l'environnement, la nature, bien sûr, on va pouvoir replanter bien des arbres, on va tellement faire de plantations qu'on n'a jamais fait auparavant, puis on va rebâtir l'infrastructure. l'infrastructure du collectif nord-américain, comme qu'on avait vu l'aqueduc qui vient de péter. On va pouvoir pour le 21e siècle rebâtir toute cette infrastructure pour l'Amérique du Nord. C'est excitant, mais vous savez, j'ai été maudit par l'aspergus. Puis là, je vous présente, bien sûr, la bénédiction, c'est la TRD. J'ai étudié la géopolitique. Dans la géopolitique, on étudie les finances publiques. Et bien sûr, chef finances publiques, bien sûr, ça fait bien sûr les finances publiques, bien sûr, qu'il faut qu'on fasse, bien sûr, la TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette pour l'intégration citoyenne. Puis ça prend du rock'n'roll, puis ça prend un esprit de corps. Un esprit de corps, un esprit de corps qu'il faut le faire moi-même aussi, incluant, c'est avec du rock'n'roll. C'est la seule et unique solution, bien sûr, qu'il faut, bien sûr, faire de l'entraînement physique et que je encourage. On va pouvoir rebâtir toute l'infrastructure des travaux publics, bien sûr, qu'il faut. Je leur envoie des massages, des bisous, puis des câlins. Puis en esprit de corps aujourd'hui, esprit de corps, workout go, public workers go, pour les travailleurs publics. We're gonna go get it for that XYZ, and we got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of work to do. On a beaucoup de travail. Travail pour l'infrastructure. Pour l'infrastructure, we got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of work to do, you know. So that's what it is, you know. So it is, man. Let's go. Get it on the XYZ. Let's do some squats. Les applaudissements, descendons en bas. We gotta go down and up. On y va pour le public workers. Let's go. Oh yeah. Again for the stretch, man. So we're going to stretch and let's see if we can do some push-ups here, but I don't want to be too much in the range. We put it through dans la pluie. I sweat, get wet. I already took my shower. Déjà pris ma douche, so let's just go with the squats here. Oh yeah. go FLI, FLY like a hawk, coming in per VA hawk. HEWK, on the toes we go like a helicopter. Spin, turn. Torna, 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 torna. I go shit, it up. Let's go, get it up. Let's go. Where you at? Hey, let's go. Give me some squats. SQATS. Go public workers, go. Hello, we do the public workers changing the water main. Let's go. Give me some hawks. HAWK. We fly high all the way. On s'élance sur les orteils. On vole dans les airs jusqu'au ciel. All the way to the stars, man. Stars. All the way to the sats. Satellites. The satellite. So my dream is to build a new constellation public-private partnership for North American NORAD integrated 300 sats. 300 new sats, then 300 satellites for monitoring coast-to-coast North American shift 24 hours with citizen integrated security access. Que ça soit public pour les citoyens qui peuvent avoir accès à ces satellites. La sécurité intégrée, bien sûr, pour l'administration de l'Amérique du Nord de côte à côte. That's an idea, for the 21st century integrated citizen security. There's a philosopher, the integrated security citoyen, the côte à côte, coast to coast, ocean to ocean, coast to coast, ocean to ocean, coast to coast, ocean to ocean. Gotta get down and boogie, left, right, and go up and down, twist those hips a little bit. On tourne comme ça un peu les hanches, on y va, on descend, and up and down, up and down, up and down. Gonna get it like that. Ah, yeah, that feels good, man. So in terms of thermonuclear war, what we need to do is, of course, open up some mountains, because like the Citoyen mountains, right? So that's a protocol which we gotta open as soon as possible. Start public-private partnership and open up some mountains and build a lot of tunnels. I have to build a lot of tunnels, infrastructure, coast to coast across the collective North American complex in case of a thermonuclear war in Europe. So dans un cas d'une guerre thermonucléaire en Europe, vis-à-vis des Russes et la Russie, il va falloir qu'on ouvre des montagnes. Fait qu'on va pouvoir ouvrir une coupe de montagnes ici, on va pouvoir les stacker avec de la nourriture, puis on va pouvoir bâtir l'infrastructure des tunnels en bas, comme le Montréal Underground, basically across North America, citizen integrated. We have to start working on that ASAP. Across the collective North American civilization, build tunnels underneath and open up some mountains in case of a thermonuclear war. Dans un cas d'une guerre nucléaire, and build interceptors because the ICBM rockets can reach from Russia to here. They can travel 10,500 kilometers. 10 500 kilomètres, ils peuvent traverser en théorie de Moscou jusqu'ici. So they can, in theory, not of course, theory and practice are two different things, but theoretically, the ICBM rockets can fly the trajectory and reach all the way to Montreal, because from Montreal to Moscow, it's 8,500 kilometers. So we have to build coast to coast interceptors that are able to intercept, like a sky defense, coast to coast, ocean to ocean on each coast. That'll be interceptors on each coast, Canada, US, NORAD based. So that's how I envision it. So it's gonna be to be mass finance trillions of dollars. We're gonna have to invest trillions of dollars in that for the defense. So my vision is to have three and basically 11 on each coast, 22. So 3 in Canada and the rest in the United States. So we can start with Ile de la Madrid. So that's how I envision the interceptors. So we're gonna have to do that. It's a lot of technical, but it's a lot of brains and muscle to do it. It's gonna be, by my DRT theory, we're gonna be able to mass finance that. Par ma théorie, on va pouvoir financer ça. Just to be prepared, because it can happen in theory, thermonuclear war now. I could go home and it could be a nuke. We hear on the news that a nuclear launch has happened. Nuclear launch, it's possible. C'est possible, it's possible. Me, just pro North America. North America is all I know, really. I wish them peace, but it's for the defense of North American coast to coast, and all who come to join us here from the four world, puis tous ceux qui viennent nous rejoindre ici. Well, we got a lot of work to do. Infrastructure, LOV, farmers, butchers, bakers, nurses, LOV to our doctors, LOV to our firefighters, LOV to the truckers. Always meditating now, all the truckers, coast to coast, all the nurses, the doctors, the butchers, the bakers, the public workers. Imagine just to build here, to have water here on the mountain. So much work and labor has been done just to have water to drink here. Pour avoir de l'eau potable ici, so much work just to bring the water fountains there and here to have clean water. Underneath the big cities of North America, there's aqueducts and aqueducts and aqueducts. So in terms of strategy, we're going to have to plan at a defense level. On va devoir jouer la défense de ces choses-là. Think about sabotage, and all that. Infrastructure, housing, food. Infrastructure, housing, food, l'infrastructure, les maisons, la nourriture. Three main ones is a defense collective. So those are geopolitical strategies. Ça c'est des théories de la géopolitique, des stratégies pour la défense. Des stratégies pour la défense. That's strategies for the defense. That's all we gotta do, coast to coast, ocean to ocean, coast to coast, ocean to ocean, So this is home, Montreal, Hokkaido, c'est la maison. Gotta get love to those changing the aqueducts. Thank you. L'amour, imaginez-vous tout ce que ça prend maintenant, juste pour avoir réglé l'aqueduc. Faut avoir un esprit de corps, we gotta get an esprit de corps, we gotta cultivate the esprit de corps, we gotta say go public workers, go. Go les travailleurs publics, les envoyer de l'énergie, l'amour, puis du rock and roll. Do a little bit of cheerleading for the public workers, on fait un peu de cheerleading pour les travailleurs publics, that's how we gotta get doing that. Don't get that until WK, hardcore. It smacks up. go. Give me drop down, maybe some squats. It's like her, please smile. Oh yeah. Oh, give me some of those helicopters, chop, chop, chop. Helicopter time. It's a bit chilly, man. It commence à faire froid un peu. C'est pas grave, if we keep it in motion, we're gonna get that drill. We're gonna get that doing, you know? First the drill. Gonna go get that hydration a little bit. Gonna go drink that water. Allez boire de l'eau. Boire de l'eau. Ça marche pas. C'est de l'eau. I'm gonna try the other door. Try the other door. Oh, that's so nice. Let's try it. I'm gonna try the other one here. Closed. That one's open. Excusez-moi, sorry, I'm gonna slide by you. Thank you. Anyways, you don't gotta come to us. Shit. No more. Better work out inside, I guess. Finish the workout inside here and I'll get it on clicks on his head, you know. So get some of those XYZs and flipping and flopping. I think I have a hydration, so I don't need. I got my own hydration, and gotta get it on the go. We gotta get it on the XYZ, XYZ, XYZ. That's what we gotta do. Gonna do it, XYZ, XYZ. Gotta do it on the XYZ, XYZ. Gotta do it on the X. That's what we're gonna be doing, and we're gonna go on the other side completely on the other side. Interject. Gonna be sliding in, sliding out. Gonna be getting on the XYZ, XYZ. Oh yes, there's a table here. Oh, okay. Excellent. It's closed. We're outside. Can't see. Oh no, it's closed. Close the shop. Please do this. On the side. Gonna get back on the drill. Back on the squeal. We can work out nice. I guess this is a place like the others, and we can go there and finish the workout here. Here inside, là, on va finir ici ensemble. Ici. I'll bring it down. I'll bring it on the XYZ, XYZ, and here we are. We're spinning our own way. Let's go get on the hawks on the those we go HAWK, c'est ça qu'on y va. Les éperviers, on lance on those toes, on lance sur les orteils. I will get that up and down, I will get that up and frown. killing that workout and a little bit of gridiron drill, man. It's always good to do a little bit of stretching. Un peu de étirement, la gauche, la droite. Let's do some push-ups, push-ups, push-ups. Say I love push-ups. J'aime les pompes, pompes pour les travailleurs publics. Push-ups for the public workers, changing the aqueduct, change les aqueducs. Le bris d'aqueduc pour le réparer à Montréal. What a pipe broke to repair in Montreal. Squats, man. Yeah, squats and these are gonna be smart. Let's go bring it low, train that was speech. And booty, oh yeah. That's nice. Let's change it up a bit, switch. And let's go, give me that HAWK, le pervier. Lance on launch. Let's go, give me that. Left, right, la gauche, la droite. Do a bit of that crazy workout. Twist, 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 twist. Oh yeah, man. Gotta go get it. Let's go, give me some squats, SQATS. It's like a smile. We got that backpack on. It's got between 22 and 44 pounds. Let's go. Give me that drill. Et voilà, on y va. Sur les orteils. On y va, gauche à droite. Let's go, twist. Let's go public works, go for the drive Publik. Esprit de corps. Gotta get that esprit de corps, man. Let's go, give me some hawks. Hawks is on the toes, you go, see? H-A-W-K, you go up, fly up on that. On vole sur les orteils comme un épervier, on s'élance, on tourne la tête de la gauche à droite. Turn, twist that head, left and right. H-A-W-K. Let's go. Oh yeah, see, Rainbow Dragon. But I want to twist those hips. Up and down, you know the 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 hips. La gauche ou la droite, vous savez, ça danse. Let's go. Bring it up and bring it down. Bring it up and bring it down. Bring it up and bring it down. For the loving, for the butchers, for the bakers, for the nurses, hey. For those train conductors, got a hip up in the hop, got a hip up in the lob, got a hip up in the lob, got a hip up in the lob, got a hip up in the lob. Switch it up, go up and down, oh yeah. You know the drill, we LOV push-ups. Vous savez le drill, on aime les pompes. On a mis son push-up. We LOV some of those push-ups, man. Aime les pompes. Gotta get that drill. Get those push-ups, man. Push-ups on hugs, man. Gotta get a little. Gotta get it on the go. Yeah, gotta get it on the go and get it on the go, you know, you gotta get that up and down. The spiders, man, gotta get those spiders up. Gotta get that flip-flop, you know. Gotta get that flip-flop, you know. Flip-flop, like that, like a spider coming out of any buck. You can also do the movements. Just get a boogie away, just freestyle workout. I'm not lip, you know. Just make it a little bit comical. Give you permission to laugh at me, you know. La permission de rire d'amour, mais you don't nobody work out overtime like Dragon. So on fait de travail, rock and roll, entraînement physique, en temps supplémentaire, comme le dragon en arc-en-ciel. Independent Asperger, Asperger's athlete artist, AA parallel, retrograde amnesia. Survivor of COVID, celebrating 7 years since I got out of depression, being suicidal. Célèbre 7 ans depuis que j'étais en dépression, 6 ans. Bien sûr, j'ai sorti ma dépression, j'ai traversé le Canada de côte à côte. It's always working out now, always my fitness journey starts now. Gotta get on the X and get those boogie and give me some hawks, you know. Hawks or squats. Is it gonna be squats? Is that could be small? And then vice versa, we keep it in motion, you know. We go over time. We go over time with it. Let's go for that XYZ. We go up and down like that. See, we gotta go up and down like that, man. Gotta go up and down like that. Up and down like that, man. For the squats, pour les accomplissements. Up and down like that. For the firefighters and the butchers, it'll be for the nurses and the doctors and the truckers. Pour les camionneurs, les boulangers, les électriciens. Sur la provenance de l'Hydro-Québec, qui change les aqueducs, les travailleurs publics. Oof. Oh yeah. Super important that I HYDRAD, that I get that hydration, Give it now. Give me some of that good hydration, man. Super important to get that good hydration and super important. I'm gonna drink it all. Je vais tout boire ça. Maintenant, tout de suite. Gonna get it all. Drink, 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 drink. We're gonna get it all. For the drink, for the hydration, for the hydration, for the hydration. Pour l'hydratation, pour l'hydratation. On y va. For the public workers fixing up those aqueducts. Pour les travailleurs publics qui changent les aqueducs. On y va. Hydrate, H-Y-D-R-A-T-E. Thank you to you, workers of the 20th century. I gotta salute, give credit, workers of the 20th century. Love you, love you, love you. If you're still alive, hope you are. Some of you are. Some of you 60s, 70s, 80s, whatever. LOV. Come get some hugs on the mountain. Public workers of North America. Les travailleurs publics de l'Amérique du Nord. Venez avoir des bisous et des câlins et des gros câlins sur la montagne. Let's go, hydrate. On s'hydrate si vous êtes encore vivant. Les travailleurs publics qui ont construit les aqueducs au 20e siècle, vous avez 60, 70, 80. Venez on s'hydrate. En parlant d'Hydro-Québec, les lumières viennent de s'allumer. So that's also nice that we got the lights here. We got the lights. So we gotta get around that lights. Oh yeah, we gotta get it on that lights. Gotta salute the Hydro-Quebec, you know. So that's all we gotta get doing with that. So I gotta put it on the backpack and swirl it on, and we're gonna go get it on the XYZ, 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 and get on the XYZ, 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 and that's what we're gonna get doing with that. So we gotta get more push-ups, and hydration is done. Hawks first. Des éperviers, 11 élances, vers le ciel, vers les orteils, vers le ciel, vers les satellites. Launch that hawk on the toes, we launch those satellites, we go build more satellites, let's go 300 on the road. Trois change la côte à côte, public-private partnership. North American Collective Civilisation complex, le complexe de civilisation nord-américain, soeur. Les orteils, les éperviers on those toes, we go up and down, let's go. Give it on those toes, turn your heads left, right, up and down. On tourne la tête, dérapace, en haut, en bas, turn it up and down, H-A-W-K. H-A-W-K, we're gonna get that hawk. Let's go, give it on that hawk a little bit. On monte, on descend, we go up and we go down. We go on the clock and we go down, let's go. Drill it for the 500 butchers. Gotta get a little bit more hydration, more hydration. Keep it in motion. Keep it on that motion. See if you got a little bit of lights there. Hydro-Quebec, thank you for the lights. These lights that just got lit now, see? The lights just got lit. So these lights, now, see there, these three. C'est trois lumières, mais 1, 2, and 3. Of course, there's more lights, but even inside, these lights come at 744, 744, 744, et 744, ben, ils viennent grâce à l'Hydro-Québec. Merci Hydro-Québec, thank you, workers of Hydro-Québec. Gotta LOV them a little bit. LOV them a little bit, il faut les envoyer l'amour maintenant. Les travailleurs d'Hydro-Québec, je pense à vous autres. Oh, je vais faire des ponts pour les travailleurs du passé, du présent, puis pour le futur travailleurs d'Hydro-Québec. I'm gonna do some push-ups for the workers of the past, for Hydro-Québec, for the future, and for the present. Gotta get those, get it on go. Let's work, 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 man. Let's work, 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 work. Travail, travail, travail. Work, 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 work. Let's work, 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 work. Work, 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 work. Work, 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 work. Let's work, 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 work. Oh yeah, that's that work, man. You gotta get on that work. Faut qu'on travaille, travaille, travaille. You know, so it's work. So it is. So it is, man. So it is. work, man. Let's stretch a little bit over here and put that elbow up, twist those hips, and it's always gonna go get it again, more squats. SQATS, let's go, drop it LOW. On this side, let's go. Let's go. On this side. On monte, on this side. Let's go. Give it on those X, those Y's. You know, that's how we gotta get drilling with that. So that's how we gotta get drilled. You know, so get drilled with that and do some more squats with it. This is we smile. Let's go. Squats for Hydro-Quebec workers, construction workers, les travailleurs, construction. Gotta think about them, man. Gotta get that safety, build more housing. Starts with construction workers. So les travailleurs en construction qui construisent, gotta salute. Independent Esprit, philosopher, geopolitical analyst and theorist. Un analyste et théoricien en géopolitique. That's it, that's all, rock and roll. So, XYZ, XYZ. We gotta get it on the XYZ. And that's all, we gotta get on that drill, man. We gotta get on that drill now, you know. So, my finish journey always commences, starts now. Ma conditionnement physique, ça commence toujours maintenant. North Americans is unite call. Public-private partnership support the dream. The dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom. So then arrive. On a partenariat Publik, Prive, build 3G, 4G, 5G. North Americans unite. Coast to coast, ocean to ocean. Let's go. 3 more. Squats SQ. UATS, there's that could be smile. We gotta get it drilled, man. Oh, yeah. Let's go. On the tick-tock, on the clock. Like a helicopter, chop, chop, chop. Come on, helicopter. Come on, helicopter, helicopter. Yeah, I see. Let's go get on the HAWK. On se lance. Comme un épervier dans les airs, on tourne de la gauche à droite, fait des satellites vers le ciel. Towards the satellites for those public workers, go build that water main. Sugar feather, they try to be careful like a chick. Let's build another number parallel to 311911. We gotta get that 21st century Dragon Army 911. The never had l'Amérique du Nord du Dragon. Sécurité, service, esprit de corps. We gotta do it with, avec un esprit de corps. So, yeah, you know, you gotta watch it as an aspirant. En faire de class B, you know. So you gotta slide XYZ, XYZ. We gotta slide like that and crouch a little bit on the spa shampoo. And it's raining out there, so I gotta put a little bit on my backpack. And I still gotta do it because from here to my place, it's an hour and a half to 2 hours d'ici jusqu'à chez nous, mais c'est encore 1h30. C'est encore peut-être 2 heures. Fait qu'il est quasiment 8 heures. À 8 heures, je vais m'arranger. Je vais finir la vidéo. I'm gonna finish the video here and gonna finish it in the watching it. We're gonna finish watching it in the sun. That is not in the sun, and watching the city, a state of gratitude, and maybe do some more push-ups. Yeah, they pump is the pump. Let's do some push-ups now, you know. Never too late, do some push-ups. Do some push-ups. Let's do some push-ups now, you know. So that's all we gotta get on the XYZ. Gotta get it on the XYZ. That's what we gotta get on the XYZ. That's what we gotta do it, man. The push-ups, people. Oh yeah. That's all we gotta be doing. That's all we gotta get doing, you know. We gotta get doing with that, man. That's all we gotta get doing. gotta do it sometimes, man. Sometimes you just gotta do it. Yeah. I finish with that right here, man. Finish with that beautiful city, man. Beautiful city. Montreal, Harkonnen, public workers. Go, 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 repair that main. L'Aqueduc, LOV. Pour ceux qui font le travail de réparation pour l'Aqueduc qui vient de briser. On vous apprécie, on a un esprit de corps. We got an esprit de corps with you on the ground there. And, you know, just meditate, juste pour avoir de l'eau ici sur la montagne, tu sais. Ça a pris tellement de travail, des travailleurs publics au 20e siècle pour qu'on ait de l'eau potable. Les abreuvoirs ici, ça a été tout un paquet de travail dans le 20e siècle, à travers la ville de Montréal, la métropole. Plus peuplée de Québec, deuxième au Canada. C'était la première au Canada jusqu'au 2017, je pense. Until 2007, I believe Montreal was the most populated. So we got to salute, you know, workers of the public who build it all. I know we can criticize, but we also got to send some love, you know. Send some love, appreciation, que the brains and muscles. Des fois, on critique, mais il faut avoir l'amour puis avoir un esprit de corps aussi. Là. Avoir un esprit de corps dans ces temps comme ça, parce que faut apprécier tout, c'est un privilège, ça. La civilisation, c'est un privilège. Civilization is a privilege. Tout ce qu'on a bâti, puis qu'est-ce qu'on a construit, qu'est-ce qu'on va construire ensemble d'aujourd'hui puis de demain, c'est un privilège. Faut qu'on salue, faut qu'on envoie de l'amour, puis qu'on les aime, qu'on ait un esprit de corps. We gotta have an esprit de corps, we gotta have an esprit de corps, and we gotta channel the aggression. And my fellow brothers and sisters, see all this light comes from Hydro-Québec, ça vient tout l'Hydro-Québec, fait il faut le bâtir. So got an esprit de corps ici with all the Quebec, all the North Americans, all the, like an individual in the collective, you know, like an individu dans le collectif, you know. So sending some energy, sending some LOV as I wrap up the workout here. You can see my favorite skyscraper, the pyramid, and you can see the city. Hawk Island, HAWK, Island of the Hawk, L'Île de la Passe, L'Île de la Passe, L'Île de la Passe, you know. You see it there, all the XYZ. We gotta get it on that. So, see, that's the skyscraper, XYZ. We gotta get it on that. So, gotta salute, and we gotta get it on that. Gotta get it on that, XYZ. Gotta salute the firefighters, butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, grocery store clerks, all involved in the production, distribution of food, tous ceux, bien sûr, qui font le travail, bien sûr, dans le public, dans le travail public d'amour, puis bien sûr, dans des rails, sur bien sûr, les transports en commun, bien sûr, il faut toujours apprécier ça, puis il faut toujours envoyer de l'amour, puis il faut toujours avoir une méditation sur la civilisation, c'est un privilège, always meditating on the privilege of civilization, and we gotta be mindful of that, and we gotta get it on XYZ. They're there with that, and she's there with that, doing a little bit of XYZ, and you can XYZ and get the LOV, XYZ, and that's how we gotta get it on that, you know. So we gotta get it on the XYZ. That's what we gotta get doing with that. So it's always a privilege to get it in the act, and get that rainbow dragon. So that's what it is with that. So it is with that. So that's where we lock it in, and that's where we finish our gratitude, and that's where we jet out. So là qu'on jet, and I'm gonna go hydrate, and hey, merci beaucoup. Hein. C'est bien apprécié ton effort.
You're welcome.
Oh, you don't speak French?
No.
Okay, no problem. I speak English as well. Very bilingual here, as you know. Where are you guys from?
Germany.
Oh, from Germany. Hey, Deutschland, eh? Cool. First time you guys come here?
Yes. First
Nice.
time in Montreal, second time in Canada.
Yeah. Can you promise me one thing? That while you're here, you're only gonna eat local Quebec products? So cheese has to be Quebec, chocolate has to be Quebec, beer if you drink Quebec, wine if you drink. Promise?
Yes.
Nice.
We were just planning to go to a little brewery. So yes.
Can you please order Quebec made beer?